are live. Hello, guys, and welcome back. This is David. I'm here with my old friend Scott Morrow, UNLV Professor Scott Morrow, Gaming Professor Scott Morrow. Welcome back, sir.
Always great to be back.
You came. How was your trip to Hawaii?
Hawaii was great. It was awesome.
The views are fantastic.
Everything's fantastic.
I know. Just literally, you just can't beat Hawaii. So we got a big show today. A lot of stuff to go over. By the way, we want a couple shout-outs. First shout-out to all the UNLV students, hopefully. All your students, maybe.
Yeah, guys, he told me 6 o'clock. He told me 6 o'clock.
Well, that was your 6 o'clock, so that we'd be in time for 6:30. Okay, yeah. But welcome, anybody, UNLV, welcome to our podcast. It's going to be a pretty in-depth discussion about gaming and a lot of gaming topics. As you know, Scott has quite the history in gaming. If you followed our channel, of course, my measly 30 years doesn't really stand very well, but there's that. Also, a shout-out to our media team, who's kind of home.
Sticky.
Dennis. Hi, Dennis.
We miss you, brother.
Yeah, we miss you. We got Alex on point. Alex is our media team today. He's doing a fine job, by the way. He's like, all right. So we're gonna get right to it. So the format is we've got quite a few topics to go over. All of them pretty much involving the gaming business, because that's why we're here.
That's great, because I'd be buried if it wasn't.
Anything else? We're gonna talk basketball, sir. That's it. Just basketball. Okay, no.
I can handle
How
that.
are your basketball days?
I'm vertically challenged. Being 5'0", basketball's a really tough hustle for me.
That's a tough, man. You got to be really good at shot maker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I was in Macau, though, that was a different story because, in Macau, I was like Barkley. I could back those dudes down.
All right, well, good. All right, so so we're gonna keep the gaming, and at the end of this, we're gonna go to like your questions. As we go, Alex, of course, will get them together. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Okay, so we're gonna get to it. So we're gonna start with a lot of things right now. There's 2 big lotteries. No one's hit the lottery in a while, which is amazing. Apparently, people are like, have a lot of extra money.
So I'm on the phone today with my mother-in-law, and she's talking. That's all she was wanting to talk about was the lottery. And I got to hit the lottery. I said, Mom, you got to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
She's got to buy a ticket.
Right.
So she's like, yeah, I got to call somebody to buy a ticket. But that's the thing. There's how many folks are talking about it, but they're not buying in.
We're going out Friday, sir. We have
Making
a pool.
a trip, state line.
We're actually, you know what we do? Dude, we go to Laughlin. Now that they have that overpay, you go to Laughlin, you can get there in like an hour.
Okay.
If you go to Bullhead City right across, and there's that we don't. If you go to State Line, you got to wait in line, and it's quite the line, especially when it gets up this high. Bullhead City, you go out there, and then on the way back, if you're in that DJing group, you can just stop, and there's like half a dozen casinos to play at,
Right.
So we do that. By the way, before we get started, I did want to address all the haters out there on my Keno. So I've started a new series to play Keno live.
He's going to go Keno on me.
Keno. I gotta do this really quick because everybody wants to know. Just so you know, I got this big following of people who want to know about Keno. So Timmy, we got done filming the very first Keno episode, me playing Keno live at the Strat.
Okay.
And I didn't even do very well, but of course, as you can well imagine, I talk a lot.
No way.
Yes, I do.
I find that hard to believe.
Well, I have a podcast after all. Timmy's like, yeah, we're not going to film this again because it's just no one's going to want to watch this. No one's going to want to watch you talking to the Keno machine, right? Me and Lauren were actually playing together. And he says, well, if we get 3,000 views, then fine, I'll do it again. And of course, 3,500 in the first day. 3,500 views in the first day, and now the second Keno.
Do you talk nice to the machine?
I do talk. Well, yeah, you got to build up some rapport
Do you
with
sweet
the
talk
machine.
the machine?
I do sweet talk the machine.
Do you get down on one knee?
Okay, now we're talking. Now it's like those knee pads are home, sir. You know what I mean?
One knee.
One knee. Well,
one knee. That's proposing. That's proposing on one knee.
Well, anything to get
Keep
a
it
jackpot.
clean. I got students watching.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
These are young minds. So Keno's doing well. People love Keno. I mean, there's a lot of haters out there, but I mentioned Keno because the odds, obviously, for jackpot are for hitting a lottery are a bit low.
Yeah.
And Keno, of course, has one of the highest deals in the casino, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
I mean, it's hard to hit a good Keno jackpot. Although I have hit a few. I know it's like, but anyways, all right. So why not Vegas? So why doesn't Vegas have a lottery or the state have a lottery?
I really believe it all comes down to the the founding fathers and the casino owners don't want that discretionary money going to scratch-offs and lottery when we have slot machines, we have linked jackpots. You got Megabucks. Megabucks just recently hit that big monster jackpot. It was like over 16, I think it was.
Yeah, it was big.
It was big.
Pretty big.
But I mean,
starts at 10. So
so having those big seated jackpots and those other kind of there's progressive jackpots all over the place. You'll talk about the hits.
Some of the hits later.
Red Rock was crazy.
Yeah.
But it's you don't want to dilute the product. I think.
Right.
And what's going on is the casino owners they're gonna lobby against.
Yeah.
They're gonna lobby against lottery, I believe. I mean, there's just too many things going on here in town now to add another component, and for the state to get involved in that, the state will be involved in it.
Right.
I mean, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think there'll ever be a state lottery. I think they're happy just letting people go to state lottery. I'm always amazed to see how much people actually play with lottery. So that is a lot of discretionary people.
The state line thing is a big deal. I think that's kind of has its own little, cult following and things like that. I think people enjoy taking that ride to state line. I really do. When I was working at the Mirage and they used to have some of those crazy big time jackpots, I forget the name of the guy, but he used to grab everybody's dough and write it all down and all this kind of stuff. And, everybody's laughing their butt off that we'll never see him again.
Yeah, right. Once he hits that.
Yeah, but, I mean, look at you. You're going to be going, right?
We're putting together a pool. I was at the Rio when the Rio dealers won the lottery. And, of course, I was a part of that pool. And, they hit the lottery twice. They won for a big amount.
Lightning
for a big
struck
amount.
twice.
I mean, and then one for like a smaller amount. You think I would have learned my lesson, but I never thought that, you don't think it hit. But I had a friend of mine when I lived in Arizona. Every single week he did $100 in scratch-offs. He did these like $25 scratch-off tickets every single week. So I can see where the casinos, they want that $100, right? They don't want that going to a scratch-off. They want that. They want you to come in and, play a Keno machine. There's
too many big guys in town that would frown upon a lottery.
So no lottery anytime soon. Okay, next big question. This has gone around for a while, especially now that we have football. So we have a professional football team.
Yeah.
And we have a minor league women's WNBA team, right? The Aces.
Dude, that's not minor league.
Oh, that's not minor league? Oh, major league. Oh, I don't know anything about basketball. Okay. Everybody just wiped me out.
He doesn't mean that.
Yeah, I don't mean that. Big.
The WNBA is big time.
Big. So we have a women's league here, women's professional
league
team,
basketball.
Aces, right?
The Aces.
Yeah, the Aces.
Just recently purchased
by the Raiders owner. That I followed.
Mark Davis,
yes. Mark Davis. Okay,
Mark Davis making another big commitment to the community.
I'm going to get so much crap for that minor league thing. I was thinking because didn't we used to have a minor league baseball team? It was also called
there was the 51s.
The 51s.
And
what
then
are they called now?
The Aviators.
Aviators. Oh, okay, my bad. But anyway,
it's okay.
So you got to let me slide. I'm a gaming guy. All right,
now, go ahead. What's the big?
So NBA expansion team. They're looking to add 2 teams, right? Is what I read. Maybe that's so. There's also the NBA Summer League is here, right?
Summer League at the Thomas
pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing now.
Well, the Maloof family owned an NBA franchise.
Right.
The Maloof family, the former owners of the Palms.
Right.
They had the Sacramento Kings, and that was a really big deal in town.
Okay.
A lot of chatter was, are they going to bring the Kings to town and all the folks in Sacramento? And I actually had conversations with Joe Maloof about that. But the thing was, they had such an incredible season ticket base. Sorry about that. The season ticket base was strong there, and they didn't want to jeopardize that.
Okay.
So that never materialized, but we had All-Star Weekend.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a little challenging on the Strip.
On the Strip.
But for me personally,
yep.
I'd rather see Major League Baseball come here in a domed, covered environment. I think I like the 162 games with 81 home
lots
games.
Of games. Yeah.
But the other thing too is I think more cities would be involved to be able to come out and see the NBA. You play one night, where in baseball, if they come to town, they come for 3, sometimes 4 days week.
Right.
It would definitely be better for the tourists to come, and that's what we like.
Right.
We like people to jump on airplanes
and stay,
and fly and stay 2.5, 3, 4 days. If it was an NBA gig, you're flying in for the one night.
Right.
Maybe you stay longer, but if you really follow your team,
Yep.
if you're coming from New York to follow the Yankees or the Mets,
Right.
you're staying for all 3 or 4 games.
Right.
You know, and
Right.
I think they would do really well. I really do. Now, with the Aviators in town and their new ballpark and
Yep.
Mr. Logan, what he's got going on over there,
Yeah.
you know, their first season was fabulous. They did a really, really great job. That would definitely cut into their action if we got a major league team here.
Baseball team.
Baseball.
I thought they were looking. I know that there's a lot of rumors surrounding the Rio at one point. That's not happening. The new owners of the Rio have said that's absolutely not happening.
Yeah, but there's a lot of pieces of ground that came in second and third
Like
place.
Henderson, there was one
Yeah.
area of Henderson. There was
Well-
Tivoli Village out there. There was that big area out there they were talking about
Yeah,
across
well-
some Suncoast.
How many sites were up for grabs for the Raiders for Allegiant
mean,
Stadium?
Quite a few.
Right, so
Yeah.
you still have Cashman Field. You could take that
Oh,
down.
Cashman Field.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah.
I'm a UNLV guy and I love Rebel basketball.
Right.
I don't want to see anything cut into that pie. That's a challenging gig right there.
Right.
I'm selfish.
Yeah.
I love UNLV basketball.
Yeah.
For me, the NBA coming, I don't get really fired up about that, but I would be really, really pumped up to see Major League Baseball come. I think that would be a better fit for our town.
Yeah. Well, look what the Knights have done. I mean, professional hockey is really—it's amazing to see the fandom
Unbelievable.
here. The
Unbelievable.
fandom here is
But
tremendous.
everything broke perfect for the
Yeah,
Knights.
yeah.
You start out your inaugural season,
Winning season.
winning
basically.
season. How about going to the Stanley Cup Finals?
I mean,
and
they didn't win the Stanley Cup, but it was close. That's
they
quite
won the
something.
first game of the finals.
Yeah, no, that's true.
You know, I mean, there was a couple folks that had 10,000 to
Yeah.
1 tickets.
I was amazed to see so many people with license plates, everything. I mean, the fandom was literally at just an
Yeah.
unusual level,
Well, when
especially
you
for
had,
hockey.
yeah, they've sold out every game.
It's amazing.
My boy Alex has tickets.
No, Alex comes in literally just dressed to the nines. I mean, he's
I
all
love it.
about
You ever
hockey.
Alex's seats? Alex has some great seats.
We're working on those.
It's good to be Alex.
It is good to be Alex. All right, so maybe we'd love to have another team, but
I
we'll see.
personally would love to see
Baseball.
Major League Baseball come.
Yep.
I just think it's a better fit for what we do here in town.
Yeah.
But the NBA, if it came, I'm fired up for anything new that's going to generate more
Right.
tourists.
What about? I mean, at one point they were talking about a soccer expansion league. It went to Florida, I guess. But at one point they were talking about, although soccer, of course, doesn't have the following in the United States that football, soccer. That. But anyways, all right, good. Okay, here's a big one close to your heart.
Yeah.
Some news about Hawaii.
Oh,
Quite amazing, because no one in gaming that I've ever talked to ever thought Hawaii. The minute you mention Hawaii as a potential state for gaming, everyone's like, that's not possible. In their actual state constitution, they have some kind of clause against having kind of games of chance.
the local folks are not really big on it.
Right,
But there's a couple things going on now.
right,
Every state is in serious financial trouble because
Right.
of the COVID situation.
right.
Everybody is there's a lot of states that were totally 100%, it'll never happen here, that are having a conversation now.
Yep,
Hawaii's one of them.
yep,
Texas is having a conversation. There's 2 new jurisdictions that won on the ballot
yeah,
this November, Nebraska and Virginia.
right,
And Virginia is really fired up. They want to start tomorrow.
yep,
But getting back to Hawaii, my personal belief is that if the local folks in Hawaii really looked at it with an open mind,
yep,
that it would be a tremendous revenue generator for them.
yep,
Why? The Hawaiian folks love to come to Las Vegas. They refer to Las Vegas as the 9th island. Boyd Gaming has
Big.
been laser focused on that market.
California,
The California Club, even Main Street
Main Street
Station,
Station. Yep.
and they're totally focused on that. Our Hawaiian friends love to come. They
Yep.
love to play. What's up? What else is going on in Hawaii? There's a huge Japanese demographic there
Right.
that loves to play the Baccarat.
yep,
I really believe that if done correctly,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a big team at UNLV that can help them get it done correctly,
right,
to bring us in
Yep.
and consult and really sit down and hammer it out, get
Yeah.
yourself all the required regulation, get the responsible gaming component in there, get all and help with infrastructure and all the things that they need, that it would be an incredible successful operation. I think that the Boyd folks would be very, very interested to tap into that. But because of the incredible international, now Hawaii's only 6-7 hour flight from those big Asian demographics,
Right.
South Korea,
Yeah.
Japan, right there.
Yep.
And our Korean friends, they can't play
In Korea.
go out of town.
Right. Yeah. And it looks like, at least now, the Japanese integrated resorts are going to be a minute. Like, originally they were slated for 2025. Now that Abe is out, and some of the other jurisdictions have sort of pushed back against.
Yeah, it's a tough hustle.
I mean,
it's going to be a slow road.
It's going to be a slow road. I mean, Hawaii could be literally the next market, given everything else.
Well, I think in that kind of geographic location in the Pacific, I hope so.
Right.
I really do, because what's going on? It's the Hawaiian Homeland Commission,
Right.
and there's a piece of land there that they really want to put it there, and if they can get that on, it would be on Oahu,
Right.
which is already a metropolis. They already have a big time international airport. I think infrastructure-wise, it makes a lot of sense. They have the monster hotels that could support tourists coming in. I think it would make a lot of sense.
Big.
There's a lot of locals that are just really neg on the on the proposal.
Right.
But if they looked at it with an open mind, and I'm calling out our UNLV students, because there's a lot of UNLV students and a lot of my students that are from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And for them to be able to go back home and take
And
their
work.
training and their hospitality degree
Yep.
and to use it in that setting, that would be incredible. And that's what has to happen. There has to be a local push.
Right.
There really needs to be a grassroots effort, local push. And, I would love to see the students that are going to UNLV and went to UNLV and graduated. There's tough opportunities, for gaming, there's none.
Right.
Now, hospitality, there's awesome hotels in Hawaii.
Yep.
There's, on all the islands,
Right.
But I would really, really love to see it happen.
Yep.
Not just for gaming in a whole, but I think it would really be able to help generate funds for this. What's going on, David? This Hawaiian's homeland, what they're trying to do is get land to give to Native Hawaiians to build their own home.
Oh, got it.
Okay, that's what it's all about.
So some of this money might be earmarked to that.
No,
right?
all
To
of
help
it would be.
Oh, all of it. Oh,
Okay,
fantastic.
so that's the way I see it. Now,
Yep.
right now, there's a laundry list of folks that are waiting for government land, for this Hawaiian homeland's land, so they
That's
can
right.
build their own home.
Yep.
And to me, what I read is that there's a lot of folks that pass away on that list.
Right.
You know?
Before they have a chance to get
Yeah,
it
it's
done.
never going to happen. And there's no magic bullet.
Right.
So let's be honest. When we talk about a lot of jurisdictions, like no way, never going to happen here. Guess what?
Yep.
When the coffers are dry,
Yep.
when you can't pay for the municipalities, you can't pay the pensions, you can't
Right.
open the schools.
Right.
It's time to look at some other avenues.
Right.
And gaming has saved a lot of people, a lot of states
Gaming's
over the
big.
years.
It's interesting. I had this conversation with Trent of Get, who we both know.
Love
we have a
Trent.
great relationship.
Yeah.
And he was like, a lot of businesses, or larger businesses, they look for some kind of tax incentive or tax haven when they move into a new city or a new state. They
Right.
want, look what Tesla did. They got like billions of dollars in tax
Amazon,
breaks.
all those guys.
All those guys. But when a casino comes in, they're like, how much can we give you? Like
How
they're
much can we
anxious-
hammer you?
Yeah.
No, how much gaming tax
Yeah.
can we
Do you-
charge?
yeah,
I mean,
that's it.
Some of these states, New York slot gaming
Yep.
tax
They
is
take
just
ridiculous
crazy.
amount of money, and the casinos are willing to pay. It's a
They're
win-win.
still making money.
So it's a win for everybody. You got new jobs, new business, new revenue.
Let's
new
talk
revenue
about
for
New
the
York
state.
for a second.
Yep.
They're talking big time for the
Yep.
first time of really trying to go full out with the sports the sports books.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest area for your fan base, for my students.
Yep.
I think that the proliferation of sports books and sports bettings across the country is just exponentially and going to keep going.
That's it.
Just keep going.
And that leads us to our very next topic. By the way, that picture that you see is one of the integrated resort ideas that was submitted for the land in Hawaii. This is just a rendering. This is not, nothing that's in existence right now. This is a rendering.
That's a big project.
That's a lot bigger than what they originally looked at, by the way. So originally, this Homeland Commission, or this Hawaiian Homes Commission, looked at a much smaller footprint, but someone came up with this, and so I found that, and we put that up there. But
Well, if any of our friends on the Hawaiian Homelands Commission are tuning in
Yeah,
today,
they're like, oh,
and they're
crap.
looking for a little help or consultation, you can give me a call. Go to UNLV's website. I'll be more than happy to come over
and we'll have
get
some
you guys
dealers.
plugged in.
We can help you train the dealers.
And there's plenty of dealers here that can fly over and be there. But there's there's plenty of UNLV student graduates that are sitting at home right now. Waiting for their hospitality opportunity because the hotels are struggling.
Hotels, everyone's taking a big hit, especially those that are dependent on tourists, like Hawaii. Obviously, is taking a big hit.
You have to fly there.
I mean, it's tough, dude. And then you have to quarantine, right? When
no drive-up business in Hawaii.
No drive-up business, not like here. So yeah, that's tough. All right, so that brings us to the next biggest. The next question I have is the next biggest casino markets, and okay, so we've talked about Hawaii, but then there's. So there's potentially an Atlantic City revival of sorts.
I believe
that's going on. I would really love to see that clean up, and I would love to see them reinvest in the neighborhoods and just upgrade that entire city, not just focused on the boardwalk, right? Because I honestly think that if you fly into Atlantic City, and it looks like Vegas, you're going to create more opportunities, a lot more synergy. People, the way it looks now, when you fly in, you're like, oof. I hope I'm not.
Well, that's one of the big problems, David, is you can't fly in.
Yeah.
You have to fly into Philadelphia and drive
down,
70 miles.
Yeah.
Or you fly into Pomona and drive 40 minutes. They had a lot of opportunities. I mean, I don't want to be negative on Atlantic City because I started there. I've got a lot of friends there. My brother's been there forever. It's his only job out of high school. He's an executive host at Harrah's. But what's going on there, and talking to him, and I talk to him often, since they consolidated, the survivors are doing much better now. Everything is pre-COVID. Right. COVID whacked everybody.
Yeah.
But having El Dorado Resorts, now Caesars, come into town, and with their marketing concepts and their consolidation practices and their adjustments to the rewards program, they're comfortable that they're going to be able to move the needle. They're going to move the needle.
By the way, I will say that originally we have a lot of people throughout Caesars properties. We know quite a few mid-level, top-level executives. And there was a lot of apprehension. In fact, many of them thought they were just going to lose their jobs just out of hand. And it's quite amazing. Almost every story we've heard out of that has been very positive in terms of how El Dorado has treated their executives and the kinds of things they've wanted. Instead of being like this smaller company intent on saving money, they've really looked at their portfolio as and tried to kind of advance a lot of these marketing concepts, stuff like this. So I'm looking forward to seeing how a lot of the local properties that have needed a little help, how they evolve as well.
Yeah. Well, what I got from some of the conversations is they're really focused on regional.
Right.
They know what works in that region. Where Harrah's was trying to be more, Caesars Harrah's was trying to be more national. Where, for instance, if you're a marketing executive in Atlantic City, one of your motivations to your guest was, if you play X and make this threshold, we're going to give you a free trip to Las Vegas. Okay.
Right.
But does my brother really care if you're going to go to Las Vegas? He just lost a trip from one of his best guys. Right? Yep. He doesn't, of course he's got to play the game. Yeah. But El Dorado coming in saying that doesn't work. That's hurting the region, and guys are getting up clapping at meetings.
Wow.
Yeah. So now they're really laser focused on what works in that region. And making tiered incentives towards that.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, what would be some tiered incentives? Being able to go to Citi Field to watch Mets games in the box. In New York,
right.
Or being able to go to Giants games or things like that,
Okay.
That's a big deal. Now, again, everything's pre-COVID,
Right.
But think what could happen at Allegiant Stadium.
Yeah.
With all the suites and the boxes and what would be going on here, and people to fly out because Raiders have a national following that's to come, because it's not about watching the opponent.
Right.
It's about watching the Raiders here.
Right.
So, a lot of folks didn't think, they'll never sell that stadium. It's gone. There's a waiting list.
Yeah.
There's a website where you could sell your PSL for money, for profit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's...
No one's even been in those suites yet,
yeah,
right?
It's all been in this. Every seat needs a license.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. All right, so what do you think about... So the other thing, obviously, New York is growing. There's a few other markets. You talked about Virginia. That might be
I think that's
market.
a sleeper.
Do you think so?
Well, there's look at the metropolis. You have Washington D.C.
Right.
You know, depending on where the city location's going to be.
Right.
You know, so there's some wealthy neighborhoods there.
Yeah, no.
You know, it's all about zip codes, man.
How soon do you think? I mean, are they looking at slots first and then adding tables, or are they looking at the whole Class 3 everything?
Well, let's be honest. Everybody wants to get slot machines yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah.
You know, when you want slots.
Yeah,
yesterday.
right now, yeah.
So we want them right away.
Yeah.
So, you know, table games is great. I'm
Yeah.
a table games guy.
Yeah.
But I'm an operator.
We need table games.
Go
table games.
Yeah, go table games. But when you look at the numbers,
Yeah.
you know,
No, slot comes first.
unless you're in Macau,
Easier to
or
roll
in
in.
Saipan,
And you need Baccarat tables.
then you need Baccarat tables,
Yeah.
right?
No, big.
But I think that as soon as they possibly can, and don't be surprised if you see temporary operations. What am I
Some
talking
tent cities.
about? There you go.
Yeah, like they did Harrah's in New Orleans.
The Harrah's New Orleans,
Yep.
MGM in Detroit.
Yep. They put up these semi-permanent tents, big tents.
Yeah.
They can roll them out like in a week, and they're very nice, air conditioned, all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Harrah's lived off of that for a while.
With a lot of fiber
land-based.
optic cables to run
Yeah,
them
a lot
slot
of-
machines.
Yeah, oh yeah, they figure it out. Well, the one good thing is, if Hawaii ever goes live, they're gonna need a lot of crap tables because Hawaiians love craps. I mean, you go into California and they literally have like,
The Golden Arm.
I mean, the Golden Arm tournament, like quite literally. So we're looking forward to that because we love dice. A lot of our fans love dice.
That's
so
where we
big.
grew up.
That's where me and you both started.
That's
Bent
where we
over on
grew-
a bird. You not so much on a bird game. Me so much on a bird
What are
game.
you
But
talking about?
you dealt the bird game out here.
We had our bird games in Atlantic City
What,
were $2 and $3.
$25?
Now we're $2 and $3
$2 and
tables.
$3?
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
I had 50 cents coming.
First 6 months I was dealing craps.
Really?
Everybody had 2 on the line, 2 in the field, 2 coming, 2 on the big 6 and 8. The big 6 and 8 paid odds.
That
As soon
just
as they
blows
got
my
up to
mind.
$6 out there, I'm
Then you
bent
move
over
it?
trying to.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Push into
move
it?
it,
Even at $6? Oh, God.
No, you had to break it down and pay it odds.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I
Dude,
started with
my first day in Las Vegas. I went out and paid the big 6 and 8 in the corner odds. The box man at the Golden Nugget came flying out of the chair.
even
I was
money here.
assaulted.
I know, even money here. But I had 50-cent moving bets, dude. The number 75 cents. My pressed from 75 cents on the 5 was
that's
to
why
a
you're
dollar
the
and a
craps
quarter.
doctor now.
Well, that's why I got good at craps, man. Bent over that quarter game for so long.
Sure.
By the way, that game transfers to the $25 game. Nice, you know what I mean? Because it's the same unit, just adding some zero. All right. So the next thing we got going on here is big innovations coming in gaming, by the way. And many of these innovations have been pushed along a little bit because of COVID.
Yeah.
Because you only get 3 people on a table, or for some people, they're just at home. A lot of money is sitting at home. A lot of money. I mean, they reserve some of these tables, $100 players. I heard of a $200 dice game, center strip, starting $200 on a weekend. So one of the things we're talking about is virtual or augmented reality gaming. And there's some people out there who might be so here's an example, okay? And now there's a guy in the middle, which would basically be you with your virtual reality goggles on kind of thing. And you can just walk around the casino, pick a table, and play on the table. So in this sort of be immersed in this whole, casino environment. And I will say, like, the virtual reality, the tech is so much more advanced than have you done the VR goggles much, Scott?
Not recently.
All right. Well, I
did it one time a while ago when it first came
Yeah,
out, but
yeah.
I know it's pretty crazy now.
I mean, it's unbelievable. The graphics, especially now with the 4K and 5K, 8K. I mean, it's like it's through the charts. They have games now that they make me nauseous, dude. It's so real. It's like, and the roller coasters. Some of the stuff that you do, the rides from the VR goggles, like you can go on like roller coasters. It's really.
Do you get virtually
captivating.
sick or really
you do.
sick?
You get really sick. I know. I wish I got virtually sick, but it's quite something. It's really stunning. So I can see how with the right technology and the right oversight, I mean, that could be a thing. What do you think? Not so sure?
It's a little out of my reach.
Yeah.
It sounds cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have to be demoed and sold.
Yeah.
And, they'd have to bring the company and bring me in and show
check
me.
it
Yeah,
out and
I'd have
show
to
you
kick the
everything.
tires before
There's
I could.
there's a lot of use out there, by the way. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly think that eventually there's been a couple movies out there.
Don't get
talking
me wrong.
about
I mean, I'm all in for the next best
the next
great
best
thing.
thing.
but I really not really comfortable talking to your fan base about stuff that I'm not really up to speed on, you know.
So here's the thing: the end at the end of the civilization, we're all going to be sitting back in recliners, you know, hooked up to some sort of, you know, fluid, virtual reality, and the avatar will live out our actual life, and we're just going to be a blob on a couch in a recliner somewhere. You know what I mean? Just I could just see this being a thing. But anyways. All right, so here's one that's so mobile gaming obviously is big. There's a lot of mobile phone, a lot of apps, a lot of online gaming.
Let's be honest. The online space has saved many gaming jurisdictions during this pandemic.
No, that's true.
It's off the charts.
The ones that are like literally
really, really great.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now there's a difference though. There is the online like slot that aren't regulated, that are part of some island group somewhere. And then there's sort of like the official, you know, gaming, well-regulated, you know, casinos. Me and Alex have had some interact. By the way, we get offered all these online casinos that no one's ever heard of. This slot that we get offered to, you know, promote them all the time. We won't do it because it takes away. We're here to you know, promote casinos here and dealers and things like this. But here's an interesting concept. You ready? I know we touched on this earlier. So one of the concepts is, here you are in Nevada, for example. You're at a casino, and you know that you can only play 3 people. You want to be socially, you have to be separated, right? Now imagine you're at home, and you're on your mobile phone, and you got there on a normal blackjack seat. There's 3 empty seats, basically, right? Because you could only have 3 bodies there, so there's 3 empty seats. So what you do is you come up on the camera, and you can dial into one of the blackjack seats. You can pick that seat, and they say that seat's mine. Have money preloaded. And to make a bet with a live dealer on a live game from the comfort of your home. Now,
and
what do you think?
They're pumping the cards to your circle.
They're pumping the cards right to your circle. And you're making decisions, you know, on your mobile phone, hit, split, you know what I'm saying? But instead of it being mobile, like a mobile app, it's literally a live dealer, live table. It's just you just bought that seat from home. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I think that's got a much better chance than the
virtual reality one.
Yeah. I could be sold on that a lot quicker.
Right?
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
We've had a discussion. I won't say with who, but with a gaming boss who thinks that ultimately, especially given COVID. So these are the kinds of discussions that have been pushed probably, you know, forward, that, you know, they weren't even looking at this kind of stuff. But now they see 3 empty seats or 4 empty seats. How many people can you get around? You know, even look at Baccarat. Yeah. How many people can you get on a Baccarat table realistically? Can't you bet over? I've been at the you know.
Well, it all depends what jurisdiction and where you're at and what kind of a game it is and all that. But like I told you before, we had NCAP games in Macau that just had like a big pass line where it was a no commission game. So all you had to do, everything was paying, you know, everything was paying even money.
Wow.
So, you know, I had 21 bets on that game one time.
21 bets.
21 bets.
So now imagine it's COVID. You can only fit a couple bodies, and you have people buying in from home for those same seats.
No, I hear you. That sounds great. I'd like to just.
You'd like to see it? Kick the can down the road a little bit?
I want to kick the can down the road. I just got my vaccine today. You know, I'm feeling good about life. Right. I want to see people get vaccinated. I want to see these planes start to fly to Las Vegas.
Yeah,
I want to see us get back to something that's more normal. I mean, I like that reality, that the virtual reality thing for maybe 2030.
Yeah,
2030, you know, when you and I are drinking Mai Tais on my lanai.
You're retired.
Right.
Done, out.
But, you know, I want to see us getting back to 6 and 8. I want to get back to split and double down. I want 5 people at the blackjack game.
Yeah, being social and loud and happy and having fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's really where it's at for me, man. And I really think that we're close. We're you know, these vaccines are here. They're here. And it's going to come. It's just, to me, it's about confidence level for folks to be confident to jump on a plane and go. And there's a lot of the country that's not comfortable yet, but I really believe they're going to move the needle. You know, let's take care of the seniors first. Let's get our seniors covered. Let's get the shots passed out to all those folks, and then, you know, keep working down those strategic lines, and let's get everybody back to normal and start getting these flights flying.
In fact, I guess this is a little bit of a segue, but, you know, we've had a few we've addressed this. So everyone that we've talked to thinks there's going to be a huge, robust return to gaming here really soon. That of all the people that are pent up, stuck at home, once we get that, there's going to be so much optimism. The minute we get these vaccine shots, the minute we're allowed to get out of our houses, where there's going to be like a rampage of people heading to Vegas.
I fully support that. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is the evidence for me is the regional casinos in California are doing great.
Minting money.
They are doing great.
Yeah.
I mean, why are they doing great? Because just like you said, folks want to get out of the house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a really, really tough hustle to be locked up like this.
We think, I mean, and that goes in the vein of like ETG. So we talked about ETG, but by the way, ETG used to be like the next big thing to be talked about. So 2 G2Es ago,
electronic gaming games.
Electronic table games, right? It was all about ETGs and skill-based games too, were sort of made a hit, but those have kind of waned a little bit.
Right.
And the ETGs is kind of like has sort of created its own separate market. A lot of casinos have trouble figuring out if it's a table game or should it go in the slot department. But ultimately, it's a different type of player. It's someone who buys in for less, spends less time. It doesn't have the same consumption value that a regular table game has. So as much as people thought ETGs would threaten, the dealer, that hasn't proven true. People love to come to Vegas. They want it just like you want a bartender when you go to the bar. They love having a dealer. They love having that social interaction. And I believe when we get done with this, people are going to miss that. People have missed that already. People are at home, stuck at home, a lot of anxiety. You got to avoid when you're walking down the street. You can't say, you know what I mean? You're like, you walk across the other side. You know what I'm saying? It's all of this. And I think the minute we get comfortable, the minute we get this, that we're going to be just, biting at the bit to be engaged and get back to that, meeting people, saying hello, interacting, right?
I'm with you, buddy. I mean,
I think so.
I'm a huge fan of let's get back to what made us great. And to me, you know how I feel about it. To me, there's nothing more entertaining than a fantastic interacting rock star crap crew playing on a game like that, or have an engaging blackjack baccarat dealer. Nothing's better for an experience. I mean, the slot machine. I don't get it, but a lot of people do. You know what I mean? I like to have the interaction.
Yep.
And to me, when I have an engaging dealer, that's a really special experience.
Yep.
Now on the other side, if you got a stiff dealer, that's buzzkill.
Yeah, the days of stiff dealers is gonna be bye, I think.
Yeah, thank God, because I don't want them on my team.
This is becoming a more personality-driven business. Back in the day, it used to be dummy up and deal, but not anymore.
Ah, no.
They want you to talk.
Dummy up and deal. That train
done.
Left a long time ago.
It really did.
Thank God, because that was.
We had a guy at Casino Quest today doing Brian, and he's a little older, looking to pivot, maybe in the future, come to Vegas, be a dealer, and we get this a lot. We get a lot of older, players, and does Vegas hire older people? Absolutely, because they love that older people love to talk. You like to engage, interact. Oh my God, whose phone is that? Is that your phone?
No, that's the Casino Quest phone.
Oh, there it goes. That could be him right there.
That's the call we've been waiting for.
That's the call we waited. Yeah, it's a bit loud and quirky. Thanks, Sticky. That's Sticky's dial. Sticky picked that. Oh my God, it's like an emergency here. Everything's going up. Anyways, but yeah, so casinos, it's all about personality now. In fact, we fill in the gap with skills. We start with we let casinos find the personalities and fill in the gaps of the skills, because really learning to be a dealer is pretty easy. You know what I mean? So like it's really about, for casinos now, it's about picking the right personality and then filling in the skills afterwards.
Well, you guys just lived it. I mean, you guys just pretty much staffed Circa. So how did that go?
No, great.
That went great. But how were they looked? They based on personality.
Yep.
I mean, it's like it's proven that you can train folks to deal blackjack.
Yep.
You can't train character and personality. You either have it or you don't. It's really tough to fake that.
That's right.
You might be able to fake it for a 15-minute interview.
Yep.
But now you're on the table.
That's right.
It's really hard to fake it for your 90-day probationary period.
And that's what we our conversation, by the way, with a lot of casinos is, listen, and we want to change that landscape here. And this is a little bit off topic, but I know it's
He
amazing.
going sideways?
I go sideways.
Is he
But
going sideways?
That's a great thing because that's what we tell everybody. That's the whole experience. People come here for the experience. We say, listen, we'll fill in the skills. You find the right person, then send them to us. We'll fill in the skills for you. That's
No
it.
doubt.
It's a beautiful it's a beautiful relationship. It really works
You
out
guys
perfectly.
have proven that you can really do it at a high level.
Because the money that you spend to sort of fill in the skills after the personality is you get a better employee, you get that engagement, you get people spending more money, spending more time. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, you trying to sell me? I'm not in the business.
I know you're in.
I'm teaching now.
I'm selling them out there. All right. So anyway, by the way, because we have a lot of dealers who are looking for work, and we really focus on that personality part. Okay.
By the way, did those dealers apply at Virgin yet? Mohegan Sun's running Virgin. I was on the job
Really?
page today. There's I didn't see dealer jobs,
Yeah.
but I saw some pretty big jobs that are available at Virgin.
At Virgin, the Virgin that
The
took
old
over
Hard Rock.
the old Hard Rock. Yeah.
Yeah. The hotel's going to be run by the Hilton.
Yep.
And the casino is going to be
So
run
we
by
heard
Mohegan
it was put
Sun.
off indefinitely for now. No, they're
hiring.
They're hiring. Well,
Their
there
website
you go.
says
You heard it here. Yeah.
What's the website say? Coming soon.
Okay, it is coming soon. There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff up in the air. So let's
Yeah,
hope.
but that's great.
That is good.
Because it's I don't especially for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got to stand in front of folks who just paid tuition
Right.
to get a hospitality degree.
Yep.
And I just had my first class yesterday and today,
Yep.
depending on which class. And is it a great time to be in the hospitality business today? Not really, but the future's bright.
No, the
I mean,
future's big.
we survived 9/11.
Yep.
We survived 2 recessions.
Yep.
Guys like
Yep.
me and you been through that. Watched the buzzkill,
Yep.
made it through, and when we came out on the other side, we were always better.
Always bigger and better.
Always bigger and better.
Yep.
What do you see what's going on? I mean, it's just so exciting to see the resorts world down the street.
Yep.
I was at, we were blessed to be at the opening of Circa. I was there Sunday
Yeah.
to watch the football.
Yep.
The place was rocking.
Yeah.
I couldn't find, it was $25 tables all over the place
Yep.
at the D too.
By the way, they're still doing well. They're still having job fairs, and there's a lot of investment being made in Vegas. So everyone with any real money and anyone who's been here like we have, they know we're gonna move. This is actually, I would say this, when people call us on the phone and talk about the school or ask questions about the school, I say, listen, it's not a great time to get a job right this second, but it's a great time to be in school
Right.
for when those jobs are.
What do we talk about? What I'm trying to preach to my students is now's the time to really focus on your self-development. Take the extra class.
Yep.
Put more credits in the bank. Get those credits in the bank right now. If you're not working,
Yeah.
that's what you want to do.
Easy.
And learn. Look what I'm just fired up that some of my students are coming down here,
Yeah.
learning how to deal blackjack.
Yep.
Because if they're going to be gamers, I've got no beef with being a bar back or being a bartender or waitress or waiter.
Yes.
But if you're going to be in the gaming business, start dealing now. Deal now. Get your
That's
hands
it.
dirty now.
Yep.
And this is the place to come, guys.
By the way, thank you for that. I happen to see that on there. Thank you, David.
Yes.
Can I see
Daniel,
that?
thank you for the
Daniel,
$5 super
Daniel.
chat.
Sorry, my glasses are don't reach that far. All right. So here's one that we'll touch on. We do have a picture for this. So facial recognition is coming. It is.
Yeah. Well, it's
It-
already
it's-
at the Venetian.
It's hit and miss kind of thing. So there's one, and this poor woman, she must have posed for this. But so this is it catches you coming into the casino, and then you get profiled right away. Casinos love it because they can keep track of they know everybody, it does offer so the benefits to the player are you get tracked for everything. It's easy for them to the minute you get in the casino, what slot machine you sit down, what table you sit down, what restaurant you go to, they follow you throughout the whole property, and they can keep track of what you've spent, how long you've been there, and give you incentives. Maybe you're a bingo player. They saw you go into bingo and now they're sending you bingo coupons, or you know what I mean. It helps with that type of marketing. Now, the flip side of it is
Giving up your data, giving
Yeah.
up your life.
yeah.
I mean, what's going on now? What's some of the biggest conversations that are going around with big tech? Folks don't want to give up their data. You're giving them your facial recognition so you can be followed into the restroom.
Yeah.
How many times?
Into the restroom.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it's like if they're going to follow you to every location you go, I don't know, man. I like facial recognition from the keep the terrorists out of the casino, the known
Right.
bad guys. I'm
Right.
a real big fan of that.
Right.
I'm a real big fan of having metal detectors at the entrance points.
Yep.
I'm a real big fan of showing ID before you walk in the casino. Circa did that on Sunday.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yep.
That's good stuff.
Adults only at Circa.
I've got no problem with that.
Yep.
You know? So, you know, when I go out into an adult environment, I don't want to have to worry about upsetting somebody's kids.
Uh-huh.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
I
you know,
I
when I'm at
agree.
Disneyland, I act a little bit different than I'm at Circus Pool. Just saying.
Just say. Oh God. Hey, so, I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I.
What do you
I'm
think?
Not, I'm
Come
not,
on, man.
I'm not sure yet. I'll be honest with you, because here's what I think. I think that in the end game is that all of our faces are going to be out there. I mean, at some point, there's just so much going on in the world that I think it's hard to get away from it. And I think that if you have something to hide, I guess, I don't know, I'm going to be on the wrong side of this, a lot of people, but I know people want
I don't
their
have
privacy.
nothing to hide, but I'm going to push back as long as I can.
Really?
You know, I don't think it's okay for folks to be selling my data, and
Yeah,
you know,
selling the
it's
data
great.
is another
so
thing.
like, you know, it's just nuts. It's you Google something,
Uh-huh.
just Google something,
Yeah.
and now the next time you go on YouTube, there's the ad
I know.
for it. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable. I mean, like it's like they can read my mind. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, really? I mean, you know.
I put my mother's name into a search engine one time, and like all her personal information came up. I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I couldn't believe it. It's amazing how much information is out there, just to literally everybody. That's the thing that see, I don't want. If they could keep it and keep it secure, but of course we know
how's that
that's
working
not,
out
yeah,
so
that's
far?
not working out. You know, I had all of my data stolen from the OPM, the Office of Personnel Management, and all my biometrics and everything, because I had a security clearance when I was in the military. And they lost it. I got a letter stating that, you know, they had lost all of my everything, including my blood type. I mean, just gone. And since then, I've had nothing but problems. I've had, you know, all these issues. Yeah, I've had it resolved lately, but, you know, it's scary. It really is. But I mean, there's just, I don't know. I think it's hard to remain anonymous now. You know, it's getting harder. The access to information there's so many people hacking it, and, you know, it's just tough. But
I'm comfortable with a thumbprint.
Yep.
But, you know, to take it
Yeah.
to the next level, I got to take baby steps.
Yeah, I used to go to the gym. I used to go to this gym that required you to do
You look like you still go to the gym, man.
Every now and then I reach out, I go to the gym. I'm trying to lose weight. I'm trying to get down to a nice, nifty, I've been slowly losing weight. I'm down 10 more pounds, dude. I got this new routine I've been doing. I'm going to show everybody. It's it's proprioception. It's based on NASM.
You going to be a personal trainer now?
I was a personal trainer. I actually had, I was part of a gym. I actually have like David personal trainer thing, shirts even made up, you know. I used to I love helping people get in shape, dude. You know, you just give me a call. I'm there for you. Yeah, I'm going to reserve the thing. I don't know. I guess for me, I don't really care as much
Baby
as
steps
I should.
for me.
Baby steps. All right, moving on.
Keep the terrorists out. Keep the bad guys
that
out.
I love. See, that's
but,
the thing.
But don't be tagging. Don't be tagging
Everybody.
Mr. and Mrs. Ohio. You know, I don't
Well,
think they need that.
you go to England, and the minute you step off the plane, like there's 8 cameras looking at you. They got
They
two on
keep the
everything.
bad guys out.
You don't. I mean,
They don't have your face. They have the bad guy's face.
just a bad guy's face. Yeah.
Interpol.
Interpol. All right. Well, there we go. All right. So next up is we got to talk about UNLV for a second.
I love to talk about you.
I
How
know,
much time we have?
I know, right?
How much time we have, Alex?
And the reason. Wait, we got a picture for this, no? Because it's a good picture.
For UNLV Gaming Lab?
Yeah, the gaming lab. Yeah. And the reason why I put this out there is because
Whoa, there we go.
UNLV has created sort of a new career, a new experience. Before, not too long ago, you just started as a dealer, and there weren't a lot of classes. Like the people like you went to college and you had a separate degree. You didn't have a casino gaming degree. You went for either economics or business and these
Yeah,
kinds of
they
things.
had it though back in the day.
Really?
They did. Yeah.
Wow.
But they got away from it for
They got away from it,
some reason that I really don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's back.
but it's back.
We're back.
Yeah. So
UNLV gaming concentration
yeah.
is back.
So when I was
Thank
in
God.
the
Now I
dealer-
have a job.
I know, that's true. But you used to work up. You just used to work up in the business, and if you could articulate well enough, and if you found someone that you can maybe intern for, mentor who would might want to mentor you and take you up under their wing. but there weren't a lot of college grads, let's say.
Last year,
at the what happened?
No sound. You're good.
All right. So on the center strip properties, the bigger properties and the more high-profile properties, they really looked for you to have like a business major, a master's degree, or economics degree, something like that. People like you that work for those types of properties, you were able to get promoted because you had that, that certificate, that type of schooling. And but now there's a new career path with UNLV. So I mean, go right ahead, Sarah. Jump right in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really fired up about it. And what's really great is I've only been there for this is my 4th semester, but the quality of student and gaming student that I've come in contact with is really great, and I'm just waiting for them to become 21.
Yeah.
I mean, what's really cool is a lot of them are they're under the legal gaming age.
Yeah.
So it's time for them to really polish and work on their self-development.
Yeah.
And I've got to really know a bunch of these students really, really good, and we bonded pretty heavy. Segue into the UNLV Casino Gaming Casino Gaming Association, new club on campus.
Right.
And the founding members of that club, in my opinion, are the future leaders of the gaming industry. There's some really rock star students in that club, and I'm super proud of them.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to really make some big noise in a positive way when it's their turn.
You want them to be 21 so they can get out there and learn how to chase, huh? On a blackjack game? It just
No,
really,
I want them to be 21 so they can get out there and be in the pit and show what they have.
Oh, okay.
I want them to be behind the table.
Behind the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, nobody knows better than you and Alex that we have to bring the gaming experience to my students. But the majority of them are under 21.
Yep.
I can't do a field trip to the stratosphere.
Yeah.
I can't crash Jimmy's party at the Palace Station. You know what I mean? But we can go to, before COVID, the International Gaming Institute. But the big breaking news that I'm going to show tonight, breaking news, because the UNLV International Gaming Institute is now the new COVID testing center.
Yeah.
That Hospitality Hall, HOS 136, is going to be the new gaming lab at UNLV.
Wow.
Just got approved today. That all you guys in my 225-01 class, don't show up to Beam Hall anymore. We're going to 136. I sent you the email today. So I'm really fired up about that.
You moving the games, the slots and stuff?
We're having a couple slot machines moved over. We're getting a Blackjack. I'm working on having a craps table delivered, and we got an SR coming in.
Oh, well, Alex is great at delivering craps tables. He loves that. By the way, that's not true. It's a real pain in the ass to move a craps table, just so you know. Especially,
I hear you.
We put a 14-footer into Casino Quest, and let me say, luckily you could take it apart, but you can't take it all the way apart.
Thank God you could take it in 2 pieces.
Anytime I mention that to Alex, he gets a little riled up.
Yeah,
it's quite the task. All right,
but the UNLV thing is a really, really great thing that's going on right now, and having that gaming concentration, because let's face it, there's such an incredible gaming lab out there with the Strip and the off-Strip properties and everything that's there, and the internship opportunities are just super plentiful.
Yeah.
And when you've got operators like Red Rock Resorts and you've got MGM that have these great internship programs, it just feeds off each other.
Right.
And what's really great about our partners on the Strip is that they're really competitive in everything.
Yep.
So they all want to have the best internship program, because let's face it, if you've got Rockstar Gaming students at UNLV, and we do, they want them.
Yeah.
They want them. So they're gonna compete for them. So how do they compete? By having the best intern program and having the best junior management MAP type programs. Management apprentice type programs, things like that. Now, right now, today, we're just getting back into that groove.
Yeah.
Just getting back.
Yep.
So next semester, it'll be better. The following semester, it'll be even stronger.
Yeah.
But what's going on now is there's a bunch of young folks at UNLV that are really fired up to get into gaming and follow that career path. And I want to take them all the way. I want to bring them to the finish line. And what I preach too, it's not just about Las Vegas, because I shared with you and your group a long time ago, my biggest jump was when I went overseas.
Right.
And those overseas opportunities are plentiful. They're going to keep going.
Yep.
It's like everything else. We got to knock this COVID situation sideways. We got to get people flying and get these games open.
We have an intern here, one of yours, Pat.
Yeah, he's great.
Hi, Pat. No, he's done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So yeah, he loves gaming. He wants to have his own casino one of these days.
Yeah,
So,
and he's got resources to make it happen,
yeah,
too.
maybe. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna be right there, buddy.
Yeah.
He can
Pat,
hire
don't
us.
lose my number when
Yeah,
it
right.
comes time, Remember Mr. Morrow, okay?
Yeah. All right, so here's what we thought. This is a little something special. We thought we'd go back to the olden times when we first started out.
Oh, gosh.
And it's a long ways ago. Good thing my long-term memory is better than my short-term memory. Right, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. You got that right, Sam.
Anyway, so, all right, day in the life of a casino dealer. So what was it like when you walked into you worked for a pretty big property, no? Your first property?
No, well, my first was when I was in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
So, but I thought that was the greatest thing on earth, Let's
Yeah.
see. I went in early and went to the cafeteria because it was free.
Yeah.
And, had pre-lunch. Then we
Pre-lunch.
started our shift, and then we go back. You
Yeah.
get 6 breaks a day.
I know, that's true. You
Let
can
me get this
really
straight.
fat
Let
as a
me get
casino
this.
dealer,
Let
just
me
so
get
you
this
know.
straight.
Yeah.
You work. You get paid for 8 hours.
Right.
2 of them you're in the break room.
Yep.
You're trying like heck not to eat on every break.
Every break.
So you're not 5'0", 210.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a tough hustle. But what's really cool about that?
Yep.
Once I really got it established, and when I was at the Mirage, and I'm going to school. It's an unbelievable opportunity to bring your homework and grab, be able to catch
Yeah.
up on your reading and catch up on things
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
And they always had a quiet room, and there was a lot of folks that would just focus on reading. And I'm serious. But then they had, they'd have the television, and everybody was watching TV, and it was pretty much dominated by sports. And then guys like you are not into the sports,
Right.
And there was a lot of our.
I was eating.
Yeah, you had season tickets to the Helps Hall.
I wasn't. No. So you want to know where I broke in, sir? I didn't have any of that. I broke in at the Golden Gate. They had a break room that was smaller than our bathroom, basically. So
That
you
was
could
the break
sit.
room?
That was it, and you couldn't eat.
But you had
got-
99-cent shrimp cocktail.
We did, but here's the thing. So you got a coupon, okay, to eat once.
Ooh.
Just once. So every other property I've been to after that, except for the Fitzgeralds, also that was a bit limited food-wise. But when I worked at the Rio, oh God, you could eat every break. The dealers especially. Dealers had a special dealer room only, quiet room. One area at the Masquerade was pretty quiet. But the gate, they gave you a coupon. So here's how my day went. I only showed up minutes before my shift because the break room was just awful. And back then, everybody smoked.
Yeah.
So I did smoke back then.
Oh.
But I mean, it was like
Peer
you
pressure.
could be just smoking in other people's mouth. I mean, it was so smoky. You know those
it
bingo
was horrible.
halls
It was horrible.
that are still smoking? It was just literally you were just covered in smoke. So I would take my breaks, and they encourage. I don't know how much they encouraged it, but there wasn't a lot of room in the break room. So I would literally go over to the plaza, and the plaza had a gaming room. When you walked into the front to the right, there was this big, gaming area where they had some pinball machines, stuff like not gaming like slots, but gaming like pinball machines. And I would spend a lot of time there because there was no one playing those games, and I would be there. I would come back. When I finally got to dice, I had Sal Bruno, which some people may remember back in Vegas. He was a bit famous because he was literally the pit boss, a dice pit boss he was a shift boss, pit boss. I'm not sure what his classification was for the Golden Gate for like 100 years.
He was the boss.
He was the guy. He was just bald-headed, loud-mouthed, always yelling, and he was just very crass,
politically correct.
not politically
very
correct.
sensitive to people's needs.
Oh, there was no sensitivity.
Emotional intelligence.
I got the breast story, okay, that he went along with too. Yeah, have you ever heard my breast story?
I don't know.
You missed it? All right.
Remember,
so,
my students are watching.
yeah, I know.
Be
well,
careful.
I could do a PC version of it. Okay, so I won't get into that.
Alex,
but anyways,
you got the mute button ready?
yeah.
Get
So-
your finger on the trigger.
So the crap table was a bit worn out. A $200 limit. It was a bird game, 50-cent moving bet. So a guy would buy in a stack of birds was $5, and this is how my day went. And he would be there all day. There was a guy, bless his soul, really craggy old man who would come up and he would buy in for $5. and he had something wrong with his skin, and it would, over the course of a day, would peel off and land on the layout. And one day, he ended up bleeding on the layout. And I'm on third base, by the way. I'm about to go on break. You know what I mean? I can't wait for my break. And this poor guy is bleeding on the layout. And I lean back and I tell my box person. Box person tells Sal. And Sal throws in a roll of paper towels. Because that was the day. I mean, nowadays, that whole table would just be, it's a biohazard. Are you kidding me? But we just dabbed it, left the paper towels over there. And as long as little dab will do you. So back to the ticket. So I'd get a ticket to go eat. And you took the ticket up to there. Back when they had the 99-cent, that was also like they made burgers. And so you got a choice of a burger, a hot dog, and some fries. And then I believe you didn't get if you opted out of the fries, you could get the shrimp cocktail. And here's the thing, there was nowhere to eat it. Because you were staff, you weren't allowed to sit there. It was a very small little area. So you had to take it outside. I mean, you had no... Because the Golden Gate, if you haven't been there, is a really small place. By the way, they've done fantastic things with it. I have been back now several times, and you know what I heard about the renovations?
It's not your daddy's Golden Gate anymore.
It was like an architectural digest. It was talking about they have this like one
It's a historical venue.
And they've remodeled it like it's unbelievable.
It's awesome.
It's really amazing what they did with that small space. It literally blows my mind.
There goes Derek Stephens again.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think that he could do that, but if you go in there, if you haven't been to the gate in like 20 years, you have to go see it. It's quite something.
I love all the supervisors wear like the gangster hats
the old
and
school.
all.
Yeah, not when I was there. We had the pocket shirts where we put the tokes in the shirts.
No, these guys are sharp. They look really
now
great.
they look like they have the sleeves and everything.
They actually
like real
have a
dealers.
high limit room.
Oh, I know. The gate
And there's
gets
people
action.
playing.
No, the gate gets good. I mean, the gate gets action.
Yeah.
Now the Fitz, I worked there. So my very next job, it was oh God, it's been so long, I don't remember. But I didn't. It took me years before I got to the Gold Coast. I worked at the Gold Coast, and that had a break room and a cafeteria. I got to eat, and a place to break and everything else. But again, really tough bosses, and it was a tough gig.
Knucklehead factor was off the charts.
A lot of bird. That was a bird game, but it was $1 minimum bird game.
There you go. Big
So it was
time.
$1.25, $8 across.
You got a raise.
$3.75 outside. It's ridiculous. But anyways, so that's what it was like. It was rough when we were
I
younger.
feel bad for you, dude.
The bosses were a little tougher. I know
They were crazy.
they were crazy. I had a boss that would switch the bowl and the stick. He'd throw pennies under the table. Did you ever have that? Pennies under the table?
I've seen that.
I mean, I would literally go up to the game, and just to see to gauge how pissed off this boss was. Because if you got on the stick when he was pissed and there were pennies under the game, and you called up a hand, calling up a hand, by the way, is like in a dice game is calling a lot of winning numbers. Letting the players win because you're in control of the dice and the stick, right? And they would go, here we go, Songbird, new talent scout coming out. Yeah, you know what I mean? What do you think? The one guy would be like, what do you think I am, a talent scout? You think you could sing? And he would just go on. He would give you so much crap. So you look under the table, and if you saw more than like one penny, you knew that, holy crap, you hope to call 7 outs. Like literally, that was the thing. Nowadays, I think most casinos, those bosses are done, right?
I hope.
I mean, you got to hope, dude.
I hope.
Oh, it was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But the Rio Marnell's my favorite boss, without any doubt. The best food, the best service. I mean, he treated us like royalty. I think, despite
Steve Wynn did a good job.
I mean, I've heard the food,
It was awesome.
the break rooms, all that stuff. Yeah,
It was called the
fantastic.
Strip Joint.
Really?
That was the name of the Helps Hall. Was called the Strip Joint.
Wow. Yeah, good food.
Yeah.
I mean, Marnell was
The
great
greatest
food.
was when the conventions would lend out not the conventions, the big dinners, when they had the big dinners.
Oh yeah, help us out here, guys.
Help us
yeah.
out,
Yeah.
F&B guys.
Yeah, the food and beverage when they had
F&B,
the
when they had those massive meal parties.
Yeah, the
right?
meals, and
So
they had
here
extra.
would come in
The
those,
catered
those,
stuff.
The catered stuff would
Yeah.
come in. Those
Yeah.
silver trays with
Yep.
the covers. Dudes
Yep.
would be elbowing for those, man. That
Yeah.
was,
We used to have the seafood buffet, and when
Yeah.
customers ran out, if you were on
that
swing
was the
shift,
greatest.
you got whatever was left over.
Yeah, they didn't throw it out. I mean,
Yeah, no.
it went from the restaurants, to buffet, to the Helps Hall,
Yeah.
to RC Farms.
Yeah, and yeah, that's it to the pigs.
Yeah.
Pigs.
So if the dealers didn't need
Yeah,
it went to the pigs.
Yeah. And that was it. You hope to work for a nice enough
pumped
hotel.
up pigs back there, right?
Some fat pigs back there. And there were pigs too. That was us.
Yeah.
Boy. When I went to Rio, I gained a little bit of weight. I was always little, and then I started gaining weight. Anyways, all right. So here's the thing: a day in the life of a casino boss. That's what's next. So casino boss. Oh, you didn't put up that picture of the dealer? Did we miss the picture of the dealer?
Oh, that's a violation.
Where's the picture of the dealer? I didn't see that picture.
I think Alex might be in violation. There he is.
There it is.
Look at that handsome guy.
There he is. There's the dealer.
Damn.
I know.
He looked like he just got a big fat envelope, don't he?
That's Fat Alex, guys. I hate that picture.
I know. That's why I picked it. Yeah. All right. So here, day in the life of a casino boss, because I think this is more interesting for people. So how do you start your day as a casino boss?
Well, let's say shift manager, right?
Shift manager.
Okay, so you're coming in, you're the shift manager. You're coming in a little bit early, hopefully. And what one of my great mentors was Gino Beretta. And Gino would really coach me and mentor me on how to be. I was a pit manager then when he was the shift boss, but it all carried over because it's the same concept. Because at the Mirage, if you had a pit boss, you had 3 or 4 pits. Where if you're at Station Casinos, there's 3 or 4 pits in the whole operation,
place,
right?
yeah.
But the thing is that he preached on me was, before you even start your shift, know who the biggest player on the floor is. And you would just cruise around and look around and see what's going on and take notice to small things like, what's the table minimums? Are we underpriced right now? Because I'm coming in on swing shift, right? If an hour goes by and it's a $10 game and it should be a quarter, that's a lot of dough you're missing out on. And if that happens throughout the whole pit, that's a big violation. I mean, that's a big miss.
Right.
So your job is to generate revenue. My job, and then I really started taking some really big notice to, like I shared with you before, put your aces in their places. Now, what's that mean? For me, from on Friday and Saturday night, the best crap dealer has to be on the best games. Your best dealers have to be in the most high-profile places, because we only have about 16 hours on those 2 days to really generate money.
Right.
We make more money in those 2 days than we do on the other 5 combined. Right? So Sunday through Thursday, that's a great training opportunity.
Right.
Everybody gets a chance because everybody's got to break in and everybody wants to get a chance to deal the high-profile game. Everybody can't be VIP. You can't come from the #1 dealing school in America to the high limit room. You can't just do that.
Yeah,
you got to get your hands dirty, right? You got to pay your dues a little bit. But there's, like, if you've got somebody, let's take 3-card poker, right? There's an incredible table games hold on 3-card poker. If you've got a dealer that can pump those hands and don't have to look at the layout to see what the pay table is, you're way ahead of the game. Now, you put everybody there for an opportunity Sunday through Thursday. But Friday and Saturday night, if I walk on the floor and I don't see Joey Jam Up on the crap table and Sally Superstar on my #1 blackjack game, I'm going to be disappointed and I'm going to be asking questions. Why? Did she call in sick today? Right? Because where's Sally? I need to see her smiling face. So, and that's really important. I think that's some really great opportunities. But the training opportunities from Sunday to Thursday are really important too. And that's where you're going to have people grow. But aces in their place is a really big deal. Another thing in the life of in what I call a good boss would be to love them up and coach them up. And by love them up and coach them up, I think it's really important for the boss to have a little bit of something, a little bit of knowledge of each and every one of their team members. Okay? I need to know that you're David, and I need to know that what you're into. I need to know, like, I can say thank you for your service when it comes time for Veterans Day and Memorial Day and things like that. That's huge. And for my my military team members, they really had deep respect for me for knowing that. And I went out of my way to know those kinds of things. Who's a lot of folks have children. Somebody be having the worst day of their, really having a down day. But when you say to them, how's your son? They perk right up. You know what I mean? In most cases. And then the folks that don't have kids, they got dogs. Or they got a
it.
cat,
Yeah.
right?
How's
How's Rover? You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No,
and
that's true.
everybody's ready to tell you how great their dog is.
Yep.
But what I'm trying to say is if you know one little fun fact about every one of your team members, beginning of the shift, you walk through, how's everybody doing? Now, when I was at Aria, the really cool thing was I make the layout, I make the roadmap up. They would give me a list of who I have today. And then I would put my aces in their places. And I would play that Sunday through Thursday game. But when it's Friday and Saturday night, and I know I got Phil Ivey coming in, I know I've got, some big hitters coming.
Right.
I got Don Johnson coming into the blackjack room, in the high limit blackjack. I better have Sally ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
because
for
my
sure.
boss is going to want to know why is she on a $10 table
Right.
and we have someone who's not number one
Right.
in the number one spot. Because what's the big deal? If that person makes a mistake,
Right.
all right?
Yep.
We always lose. We always get the worst of it, right?
That's right.
If Sally makes a mistake, we had our ace in our place. That's a tough hustle.
That's it.
But if we didn't have her there,
Right.
if we had Joey not jam up in that spot, right?
Poor Joey.
Poor Joey,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
Joey, it's not Joey's fault.
No, you
it's
put him
my
there.
fault.
That's
I put
it.
him there,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Sunday through Thursday, Joey goes there.
That's it.
That's his chance to grow. That's kind of my kind of things, is
Yep.
always know who your biggest player is and always know what is going on because the phone's going to ring and your boss is going to call you and say, how you doing tonight? And let me be really clear. He don't or she don't care how you're feeling.
Yeah.
They care what's the financial result
in the
going on
can.
in the pit.
Yeah.
Okay? And
Yep.
you better be in the zip code with that number.
Yep.
Okay? You should be able to spurt out a number right there. Not, hold on, let me get that for you. That means I'm not paying attention. I'm not focused.
Right.
And I've been doing, I've been watching the Knights game. I don't have an eye on the ball.
So I know a lot of supervisors or bosses that aren't as hands-on, and they have they have their offices set up to look at the cameras and sort of watch what's going in from a
I had
bird's eye
that,
type
yeah.
thing.
But that's important too.
Right.
Because let's talk about my favorite VIP player, Dana
Right.
White.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep.
Now, Dana comes into the building. I am first to be there, shake his hand. How you doing? Anything you need? Usually was very small,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Anything, right? Security,
Yeah.
roped off, But the only thing he needs is to make sure those big chips are in the rack.
That's right.
Okay, so you better have that prepared.
Right.
Because the worst thing you want to do is have your big guys sit down at the table and you don't have enough bullets to pay them.
Now you got to fill.
You
Now you
think
gotta
you think
wait.
Dana wants to see the birdcage on the layout?
no.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
So you want to be prepared. You got to know this is happening.
Uh-huh.
Now, sometimes you get caught off guard, but if you know in your heart that you got a guy like that who's going to show up on a regular basis, you better have one game ready to go like that.
Right.
And even if you got to make that game reserved or $500. It's a $500 game. No one's going to play that. Exactly.
Yeah.
Unless you have $500, I really don't want you sitting down because Dana might roll in.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And guess what? If Dana rolls in, you're playing $500. Last
Enjoy.
shoe.
Yeah, last shoe.
shoe.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah.
move you over someplace else where I'm taking you to dinner.
All right, good.
Because that's Dana's game.
That's Dana's game.
But really, I shouldn't have you playing on Dana's game.
Yeah, no.
You know, if I know he's coming, it's reserved and nobody's playing on it.
Fantastic, Scott. Absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
And I give this to you guys for free. My
I mean,
UNLV
it really
students
is
have to
good.
pay for this.
No, this is good. To get it for
You
free
believe
now.
this?
No, it's
Don't
good
worry,
stuff.
guys. You're going to hear it, but I'm going to tell you really how to get home on all that stuff.
We know a lot about your career, especially I've been to Vegas a long time, so I've heard of you from lots of different sources. And it's amazing to sit here, to be honest with you, and hear kind of like how you got the reputation you did, and some of the feedback. It puts it all into context. You know what I mean? Which is really amazing. You've had quite the career.
I do miss it, dude.
I bet you do, man.
I do.
I miss. I had a
When I see projects like Resorts World going
Yeah.
up, or even Circa,
Yeah.
Circa. I was just intrigued because I've got such respect for Mr. Stevens.
Yeah.
I think Derek Stevens is, the new Steve Wynn,
Yeah, the
and
new
I
Steve
think
Wynn.
he's going to just
Yep.
take it to the whole nother
Open
level.
invitation, Derek. You come on my podcast.
We'd love to
hopefully.
have you at
We'd
UNLV
really,
too to guest speak in my class, Mr.
yeah.
Mr. Stevens.
Yeah, hopefully somebody
Okay.
out there.
Yeah.
So it's quite something. All right, well, let's get to our last bit. Just so you know, one of your places at Red Rock, We're going to get to questions, by the way, so get all your questions out there, and we're going to start firing away.
Miss Red Rock, man.
Red Rock, were 2 reversible royals hit within like an hour. Do you have the images up there?
I don't have the image.
Oh, Alex lost the images, little bastard. But anyways,
I could tell you that slot shift manager was.
yeah, he was on.
His phone was buzzing, baby.
Yeah, because
I hope they happen on day shift.
yeah, reversible royals. I think is.
Can you imagine if those bad boys went off at like 4 in the morning? Oh gosh.
God, rough.
That's the only bad part about having that great job.
Yeah.
You're just super married to the phone.
Yeah.
And it goes off.
I opened a boat, and on the boat, we had let it ride, and 2 royals hit in the same week. And they were like rethinking that whole game. 2 royal punches.
Take the whole rest of the year to get even on that.
It was rough, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got for us, Alex?
Yeah, we're going to do your Q&A. Fire away. Anything gaming related, please. I have lost 10 pounds, and Keno is huge. I'm just going to put that out there. We'll just leave it out there. And then now we'll answer the rest of your questions.
Okay. You guys are ready?
Ready.
Okay.
I'll read the questions for you, sir. Eric we love Eric. He's a good fan. CEG, hey, I read a rumor that Hard Rock might be looking at buying a Planet Hollywood, as Caesars is probably looking to drop a property or 2 from their books. Any thoughts? So, Hard Rock Seminoles are looking to buy a property on the Strip. We've heard that as well.
They're looking to buy Planet Hollywood.
El Dorado may be peeling off a property. So exactly, that's
so
the
they're
rumor.
talking that Planet Hollywood might be for sale.
Maybe, but I do know that Hard Rock at one point was looking around Vegas.
Great question there, Eric.
Yeah.
What I think, and the chatter that I heard, is that our friends from Hard Rock could be the secret big buyer of Venetian Palazzo on the Strip. How about that?
That is, yeah.
You heard it first here on David's
That's
podcast.
it. Wow. That could be a thing. That'd be big. Seminoles are
Why
great.
not? Why not?
Seminoles done a fantastic job.
MGM would be the only other person, and their balance sheet doesn't say so.
Yeah. Yeah, they reached out to us quite a while ago.
Hard Rock has a powerful balance sheet.
Yep.
Unbelievable cash flow.
Yep.
Their operation in Hollywood, Florida is off the charts. I mean, we really got to take a trip, dude.
They
My dad's got a
us.
condo like right around the corner. We could walk there.
That'd be fantastic. I would love to go visit. They did contact. They said, "Listen, you have any dealers heading out to Florida? Let us know." There was a point where they were hiring and were looking at dealers, so they had emailed us. All right, what else you got?
Okay. Let me come up to numbers.
Yeah, I would love to. Oh,
That was a good question, though.
that was a good question. I would love to see that Hard Rock out there.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm not sure if Scott gambles, but this is what they asked.
Legit question for Scott. What's his system strategy for Baccarat?
Ooh. Play with other people's money.
Yeah, go with a benefactor.
Gosh, my system for Baccarat.
I'll tell you my system in a minute.
I haven't played in a long time, guys, for real. I mean, when I was young and in Atlantic City and doing really crazy things, I really like to pay. I would start with 1 unit, get paid, and then power press to 3, and then let that stay as long as, and hope for a run. That would be my strategy.
So you're not that guy there with the card following the
No, well,
streaks?
here's my theory with the card. The card's like your rear view mirror. It tells you where you've been, not where you're going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love the fact that players love the card. They love the electronic scoreboard. They will not play without it. Again, I don't get it. I'm glad somebody else does because I've had a really great career.
Yeah.
But when I'm sitting down to play, if I'm going to play, I want to win something.
Yeah.
I'm not there for a long time. I'm there for a good time.
Yeah.
So I'm either going to make a score or I'm out the door. So either way.
Yeah.
But I like to bet. Let's say if I'm betting quarters, I'm going to bet $25. I win. I take my winnings, stack it up. Now I'm betting 75, and I let that roll until it loses. Then I go back to my number one.
That sounds like I forget that there's actually a name for that.
There's probably a name
like
for it.
Wait, what is it?
It's called Scott's Baccarat strategy.
Baccarat strategy. My Baccarat strategy is not to play, dude.
Yeah.
I was at the Gold Coast. I just told this story earlier. And they actually walked me over. One of the bosses walked me over and said, "This is when they just had like 2 games. This is Baccarat was sort of new. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
Not as big." And there was this little girl sitting there, and there was this guy playing Baccarat, and he kept banging on the table, and then he was like pushing her arm, and I'm like, there's just no way in hell I can deal this game, because that would make me very angry.
Yeah,
and
I
would lose
really
my
enjoy
job.
dealing it.
Yeah.
And I love watching it, and I think it's really cool. I mean, I think Baccarat is the number one game.
Really?
Oh, I do. Yeah, for sure.
More than dice?
Yeah, I mean, it's.
All right, we need a new guest next week.
I'm just.
Really? You don't
I worked in places where there wasn't even a dice game.
I mean, that's true.
You know what I mean? But there were 400 Baccarat tables.
Baccarat tables. But what about the level of? Oh, this is another topic. Oh,
you going sideways?
I'm going
It's
sideways
question
again.
time.
Okay. I'm just so stunned, sir. You were bent over a dice game. How could you a dice deal? I've never heard of a dice dealer switching games at some point.
What did I tell you many podcasts ago?
Yeah.
Baccarat is the retirement home for crap dealers.
For crap dealers.
There's only so many years you can be bent over like a farm
That's
animal.
true. That is
okay?
true. Yeah.
Alex, talk to this guy.
I know. This is
Okay?
true. All right. What else you got?
Okay. Let's see here. This is from me.
Okay. David, the CQ team and I want to own our own casino in Vegas. Would you be interested in managing it? Ooh.
That's for Scott.
That's for Scott.
If you guys came to me with that, I would come out of retirement really
Oh,
quick.
fantastic.
I'd be
Done.
part-time at UNLV just so we could keep the pipeline, and we'd hire all UNLV
Yep.
students,
Dude.
and we'd have the number one operation in the history of the gaming world.
Dude, it'd be fantastic. By the way, we know a casino recently is having a little difficulty. Had to close their pit recently, too.
Hate that.
I know. We've been, that's the casino we would want. But, all right, that's fantastic. Okay, what else we got?
Okay, let's go back.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Let me go to the next question.
Uh-huh. All right, question. Biggest win witnessed on craps. Was it a pass or don't player?
Oh, that's easy for me.
Yeah, it's easy for me, too. Go.
Yeah, mine was at the Mirage on my birthday was the $1.2 million crew. So I told you about the guy. We talked about it one time.
Yeah.
Guy comes up to the table, takes a $50,000 marker. First bet was $5,000 on the pass line. Full odds, 1, 2, 3, 4. I was the stick man. I passed him the dice. I went around to the opposite base. I go on break. I come back. He's still shooting. He's got white checks, $5,000 a piece at the Mirage at the time, all the way wrapped around the table. I serve him the dice about 15 minutes into my stick. He finally sevens out with bases loaded with come bets at 5,000 with full trip for full
odds.
Full 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
It was just crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
So mine is, I was at the Gold Coast. It was an hour and 4. I still remember the lady who rolled the dice.
3, 4, 5. I'm sorry.
3, 4, 5.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know what I meant.
I know what you meant. Everybody knows what you meant.
All
It's
you
fine.
craps rock stars
It's
know
fine.
what I meant.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah. I had my COVID shot today. I'm a little cloudy.
So I'm surprised you were on a 3, 4, 5 game because I always dealt to double odds until recently.
3,
then
4,
they
5
3, 4,
at the
5.
Mirage, man.
Really? It's always been 3, 4, 5?
When I was there.
Wow.
When I was bent over.
Wow.
1990 to
Wow.
2000.
Wow. Yeah, interesting. So I'm at the Gold Coast, and I don't remember I've told people it's as high as like 500, but I don't think that that's true. I think it's less than that. I had a Hawaiian. It was the first time I was introduced to a power press, and this guy would come in a few thousand bucks. In this case, he came in $500, and he would go like 64 across and just power press it. Actually, maybe even 96 across. It would be 3 units, this type of thing. And I was introduced to this. He would go right to table limit. At the time, it was $1,000 or $2,000 table limit. This lady rolled for an hour and 40 minutes. It was like the worst day of my life, by the way. It was the worst and greatest memories in a way. So this real skinny little lady down the center, on second base, shooting the dice. Literally an hour. Had never shot the dice before, of course. Starts out with $5 on the line. Just shoots, just hour and 40-minute hand. Kid you not. The shift boss at the time, I think he might have recently retired, but he switched the bowl. I'm on the pole, and he literally switched the bowl on us. I was so stunned. This little guy reaches in behind me and takes the bowl. And I was like, I'm looking at the box, and I'm going, what's going on here? Why is the bowl? Literally switched the bowl. They switched
brutal.
the stick, the bowl. They tried to change the pace. They tried to run over the players and the thing. But this guy walked with
They
it.
trying to tell me they were sweating money.
Oh my God, it was unbelievable. And by the way, so when you had rolls like this place sweat the money so bad, dude. It was ridiculous. I remember just getting called names constantly.
I can tell you by the time this gentleman sevened out, every major suit that was working that night. I mean, because this was early in the shift too.
Right.
This was like 8, 9 o'clock at night. So the big brass was still hanging around. And if it was a weekend, they were definitely there. I can't remember if it was a weekend night or not, because every night at the Mirage when I was there early played like a holiday weekend. You know.
Right.
But to have somebody start out table max.
Yeah.
And just have the roll from heaven.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I mean,
Man.
1.2 million.
Yeah. So the most I've ever seen leave a table was several million at Marnell at the Rio. We had a $500 crap game. So we had four guys,
how much?
couple $1 million.
Oh wow!
We had 4 guys on one side, 4 guys. One was like, we had this guy with a $3 million line. We had a sports agent dude. We had that guy Aria from Caesars, who's a famous, Aria. I think you've probably heard of Aria.
Sure.
He used to stroke the hell out of the dealers. Yeah, yeah, you know who you are.
He's a legend.
He is a legend. Legendary stroker. Two-handed stroker, sir, okay? You can take that however you want. But yeah, we gave away, oh, God, it was unbelievable. We had like 3 or 4 fills on this $500 game. It was unbelievable. I mean, I've never seen so much money go off. I mean, people at just max place bets, and it wasn't just one big hand. It was still an 8-hour shift that was just, it was just hot.
Wow.
But anyways, that's the most.
That's big time.
Yeah, it's big time. All right, what else we got? We have anybody still awake?
We have 20 questions. So
Wow.
we're
All right, let's rapid fire. We got time. Go. Scott, how was Hawaii? What was your favorite part? Oh, Sticky Dennis. Hi, Sticky.
Dennis. Well, the favorite part was on Christmas Day when we rolled into our neighborhood that we were looking to build our house.
Yeah.
We saw this little sign that said "For Sale by Owner," and we drove down to the home and pulled up the driveway. And the long story short, my wife and I walked around and saw this place, and we wound up buying it.
It came with a car.
I bought the house, all the furniture, and the car.
And the car.
And the car.
Fantastic.
My wife, Karen's birthday is February
Hi, Karen.
14th. Hey, baby. And I bought her a one-way first-class ticket. She flies on November 24th.
Wow.
Taking the dog. Jane's going to go back to the islands.
Wow.
And we're starting our Hawaii dream.
We want to get to Hawaii.
Dude.
We want to be in Ala Moana so bad. It's not even
My
funny.
CEG friends, they have free timeshare for life.
Yeah. We'll come visit. We'll roll out the...
it was an amazing trip. Unbelievable.
You can see like the ocean and everything. I mean, you have fantastic views. You showed me the views are unbelievable.
Yeah, we're really blessed.
I mean,
So all my students that live on the Big Island, this summer we're going to have a big get-together. So
field trip.
start hitting me up with those emails. Let me know. And if you're coming in from Oahu or Maui, we'll put you up. We'll have a big sleepover. It'll be awesome.
Perfect. All right. What else you got?
Big pajama party on the Big Island.
Oh, God, pajama party. Dennis,
I'll have to go get a hotel room. Jeez, get out of there.
I know,
Have Karen
right?
run the show.
There you go. Okay, this is for El Lorenzo 100. How does UNLV accommodate the gaming lab for students taking classes online?
Well, that's a great question.
Fantastic
Because
question.
you know what we do? We come to the #1 dealing school in America right here at CEG.
There you go.
And we film a lot of those. We film the lessons. We film some
That's right.
simulated play.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to some of the new products coming out of the Brain Trust here at CEG that they've been more than generous with
Yep.
my UNLV students.
Yep.
And I just look forward to keeping that relationship rocking and rolling.
Yeah, you guys will be able to see some online classes soon. We'll be rolling that out soon. We have a new training platform.
Yeah, what I'm planning on doing, like, what my big plan was to use, like, in dice when you have the 30 roll challenge.
Yep.
Is grab some of those best 30 roll challenges that you guys had and get permission from you guys
Yeah, of course.
to share those and the
Yep.
Blackjack ones with the Timmy stuff and all
Yep.
that kind of thing.
You have permission.
But I got to tell you, I got some really great props from unbelievable reaction from my colleagues on the craps course that you and I put together.
Oh, really?
And the one
fantastic.
that Jet filmed.
Yeah, we had
Yeah,
a lot
we got
of
a
fun.
lot of great feedback on that.
Yep.
And so what we would do is, to answer to your question, last semester was
Mm-hmm.
I would invite the online students, they would come. I got a waiver so they could come to the IGI and the 5 gaming labs. So what we did is we had Jet from CEG. He would film the lab, and then he would edit the lab. And then when you take the lab, you've already had the lessons in front of that. So then I would send the lab out, through the online format, and the students would give us a discussion back on the lab.
Yeah, good. All right, what else you got?
We got plenty of questions.
Wow, fire them up. All right. Question for Scott. This is from the Pit Boss, John. Hi, John. How you doing? You're coming out soon. We're here for you, buddy. All right, how many students are enrolled in the UNLV gaming department?
In the whole department? Well, I have 128 students this semester for 3 classes, and I'm not the only professor that teaches. So I'm hoping now they're not all focused on gaming degree.
Right.
Okay, because we have some open electives, but
Thanks, John.
I'm hoping that there's at least 100 plus.
Yeah, so there's a few different paths. So you happen to be for some people you're like the extra class. They take gaming and then they're moving on to hospitality, but they still take your course, right?
My introduction to gaming management, my gaming 225 class, is a prerequisite for the overall integrated resort degree.
Okay.
So if you want to graduate from UNLV with an integrated resort degree, you have to come through my class. And that's really cool for me because that gives me an opportunity to maybe expose some students to gaming that never thought they would be.
Yeah.
I just had a really great story the other day. One of my top students last year, I'm not going to give her name out because I don't have permission, but she took my online electronic gaming device class, and part of that class was she took the 225, and we did a class on FanDuel. So she learned about FanDuel. Then she gets an opportunity to get an interview with DraftKings. So she already knew about FanDuel. She interviews for DraftKings. Her and I set up a mock interview. I set up the questions for her.
Yeah.
She crushed that interview. She sends me an email yesterday. She got the job.
Wow.
So I mean, it's like that's why I'm doing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's like the emotional paychecks are just really awesome.
I mean, that's here too. Same thing.
Yeah,
the dealers come through school. The next thing you know, they have a job. Hopefully. All right. What else we got?
All right, so John, thank you for the $15 super chat.
Thank you, John.
Would it be John? Big John.
All right, Alex. So when are you guys heading to Arizona? Okay, you ready? So what do you think about Class 3 gaming finally coming to Arizona? What do you think?
Let's do it.
I think it's coming. I really think that now, especially, I think they'll finally pull the trigger. I think that it's all about getting the Governor's Pact updated with the Indian tribes.
The state compact.
The state compact. So it's a lot of years it's been in the works. The Indian reservations want it. Those that have gaming.
What did we
Gila
just
River.
talk about? Every state needs
revenue.
revenue stream. So whatever was on the back burner before, we're going to get moved right up to the front burner.
Yep.
All that negative, not in my backyard chatter. Guess what? Can we chat now?
Yeah, can we talk about it?
Can we talk?
If Arizona goes live, the Phoenix metro area, we will open a school there in the Phoenix metro area. I'm very familiar. I love that area of Arizona. I've lived in Apache Junction. I lived in Mason, Chandler, and 100%.
That talking stick is rocking, man.
Oh, it's amazing. Gila River. Look at the evolution of that
talking stick, right?
And Casino. And then there's Casino Arizona. And I remember going there and having to wait, being forced to play Keno to wait for a table. They have the Blackjack Class 3 to the Class 2 tables. Or even in some cases, some of the slot machines, you'd have to wait. I mean, the business they're doing is amazing. Gila River, when I lived there many years ago, they started from a much smaller. Now they have a much bigger property. I mean, there's a lot of potential. And I know that I have actually talked to people involved with some of the tribes, and I know that they've actually put aside money to open this, to get this moving forward very quickly. So we would love to. We actually had discussions a couple of years ago with someone who was entertaining, hiring us as consultants on the training part of it, the dealer training part of it. But of course, they weren't able to update the state pack, and that was sort of put on the back burner. But like you said, maybe that's going to change now. But we would love to come to Arizona for 100%. Yep. All right, what else you got?
Oh, we got plenty of questions. So.
Wow, really?
Yep.
Okay. Is David going to teach Keno 1? Oh, God. I swear to God. Who is this Dave N? Is that me talking to myself? Because that happens, sir. I'm just
Is
saying.
David going to teach Keno?
101 at UNLV. I would love to teach Keno. You want to know something? You want to know a little secret, just so you know? I don't know if you've experienced it because you were busy moving up the career ladder, okay? A lot of table game dealers. The thing about Keno, and let me just share this with you, okay? If you work at a casino all day long on the tables, and you kind of get, you got a lot of people, and it can be a little mentally draining. You go home, you want to have a beer and do something. You still want to gamble, but you don't want to gamble with your brain, so to speak, right? So you just sit down, you put your numbers in, and you press a button, and then it's just dreamland from there. And if you happen to win, wake me up, get me my 4, you know what I mean? I know a lot of craps dealers, by the way, who play Keno. Troy, one of our teachers here, plays Keno.
I think you're the big Keno guy, dude.
I
think
Keno.
everybody wants to be like you and play Keno.
I play Keno probably once or twice a week. I go to wherever the best pay is. Stacy Casinos has some great pay. Stratosphere, believe it or not, they don't have 20 card yet. I need to convince
What's
Brian
the
to get
holdup?
20. I know. When you
Brian,
got 20
what's
card
the
machine,
holdup?
20 card Keno, that's big. I need 20 card.
Brian,
but I
take
love
care
Keno.
of the 20 card.
I'm trying to get a place to let me any casinos out there that want me that are gonna let me film playing 20 card Keno to promote your 20 card Keno at your casino. Let me know, and we'll do. All right, what else you got, Alex? All right, where do you guys see CG in the next 5 years? Wow, I love this guy.
Dun, 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 dun.
I think we've sort of changed the game, I mean, let's be realistic here. We have changed the game. When I first came to town, every dealer school, I wouldn't say they all suck, but a lot of them sucked. They had really poor reputations, a big sort of dealer mills, and we're not that. We take an investment in our students. You know what I mean? Even the haters out there, we still helped you get jobs and still moved you along. And so we're changing the dynamic. The relationship between the casinos and us is also changing. Because again, we want you to hire personality, move on. But anyways, where do you see us in 5 years? We want to have a location west side, east side. And we already have a landlord that wants to help us do that. Not this landlord, by the way, because this landlord doesn't want to help us do that. But we have another landlord that is very anxious to see us expand. We'll probably expand post-COVID. But I see us having a few different locations for CEG. And we're going to be, our online training platform is coming very, very, very soon. I know we keep talking about it. It keeps getting put back because we're really perfecting that. And once that goes live.
It can't be good. It's got to be great.
No, it's got to be great. It's got to be perfect.
It's got to be great.
And our partners working on that are working on just really making it perfect. And that's really the goal. But once that's done, we'll really be a global brand when it comes to training. And then I see us sort of focusing on the markets that, have a high concentration of casinos. It does. So 5 years, maybe like 4 or 5 base locations, the online training platform, of course, but lots of relationships. That's what we want to focus on, the casino relationships. We want to lock down that opportunity we want a path, like you talked about, that path. We want a path from here to the floor of a casino. We want a reliable path. If you come to us, we're going to train you. We're going to give you we're going to give you the skills the casino wants and open that door for you, ultimately. It's a win-win for everybody.
Sounds great.
And then the casino gives you that path, and now you work on retention. You lower your turnover. Your cost of acquisition is less. All those things that we're selling. So that's the goal. All right, what else you got? Sound good?
I'm down.
All right, good. All right. Green, white, and roll, Patty. Can you ask Scott how long and what kind of gaming programs are available at UNLV? Different scholarships. How many international students?
Okay, what's the first one? How many gaming programs?
What kind of gaming programs are available at UNLV?
Well, there's the actual program, but then there's different classes.
Okay.
Okay, so Introduction to Casino Management, Gaming Management 1, Gaming Management 2, Electronic Gaming Device, Casino Marketing.
Oh.
I'm working on designing a class for game protection. There's a whole portfolio of gaming class. There's casino law, gaming law. There's a really great program. If you go to unlv.edu and go to the different schedules, and you can open up the schedule and you can see what classes. When you're searching for the class, start with GAM, and that's for the gaming segment.
Gaming. What about there's a bunch of international students. We've met some of them.
Oh, international students, big time in the hospitality program.
Yeah.
Over 30%.
Yeah.
It's a huge number.
Huge. Yeah.
Pre-COVID, right? I mean, our international students really stir to drink.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
I mean, gaming's international. And
UNLV, the number one diversity school in America, number one. I mean, and that's our international students really help that. There was 3 parts to that question.
Yeah, what was the other one? Other part.
Let me go back. How many? Are there different scholarships?
There's all kinds of scholarship opportunities. There's a ton of money out there. If you're looking to go to school, there's financial aid department at UNLV, but there's all kinds. The Sons of Italy. There's a lot of places that offer scholarships that are really under the radar.
Yeah.
When it's time to go to school, you could find money. And then, of course, you have the Millennial Scholarship here in town.
Yeah.
If you do great in high school.
I don't know what the website. There's a website actually that tracks down all these scholarships.
There's a lot of money out there. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of grants.
Yep.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot. You can go to school.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, what else you got?
Okay, ready?
Ready. Ding, ding, ding. Where do you see Sands going, given the recent passing of Mr. Adelson? Oh, I originally had that
Scott,
as a top.
this is one of my top guys.
Oh, really?
This is one of my rock stars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this guy's got a future, man.
All right, fantastic.
What's your question, Brandon? Where do
you see Sands or Venetian Palazzo going, given the recent passing of Mr. Adelson?
Yeah, and the recent passing.
Sands Empire.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, the passing of Mr. Adelson, when they do the gaming Mount Rushmore, he will be on it.
Yeah, for sure.
The 4 top folks in the history of gaming, he's on the Mount Rushmore.
Yep.
Now, his wife, Dr. Miriam Adelson, is 57% owner of the company, which puts her in control.
Right.
What I see, Brandon, is I would not be shocked if they liquidate the Venetian Palazzo on the Strip and just really laser focus on the Singapore operation that prints money and their incredible presence in Macau on the Cotai Strip.
Yep.
And that's what I would do.
Just
I mean,
focus.
If anybody wanted to know my opinion, that's what I would do. Because what's going on now, they've got an opportunity to a huge majority of their gross gaming revenue for the company is overseas.
It's overseas, yeah.
And any jurisdiction, any gaming jurisdiction on the planet that is looking to go IR, Sands Venetian's going to be there.
Right.
Las Vegas Sands is going to be there.
Yeah, it's big on the list.
Yeah, they're because everybody wants to have that MICE convention component.
That's
and
right.
they're the rock stars.
Great
question, Brandon.
That is a great question. My caveat to that is, so Sheldon Adelson's really his start was in the Comdex crowd. He was the guy who brought the conventions, and he grew Comdex,
sold Comdex.
Yep, made a mint, and so I can see there being a little bit of an emotional attachment to Sands Expo Center as far as that goes, because he didn't rebrand it; he kept it Sands Expo Center. I think that I actually read an article about an equity trader who talked about specifically about the idea of this being sort of an emotional, and she lives here too, by the way. They live in Vegas.
They're incredible community leaders.
But I think
they're donations to the hospital, the hospice program.
That's it.
They're all over the place.
So I think as far as from the business point of view, I can see them selling Venetian Palazzo. I could see her moving on. But from an emotional standpoint, this is kind of where it all started. Vegas, Sands Expo Center.
I got you.
But you know what I mean? I'm just going to put that out there because I know.
Remember, you heard it here first.
You did hear it here
on
first.
CEG David's podcast that Hollywood Casino will buy the Venetian Palazzo.
I think that's
and then
probably
you can
true.
invite me back.
I think that's probably true. Maybe she'll keep Sands Expo just for herself. You know what I mean?
Can't do
Just
that.
for memory. No,
Can't
I think
do
it's
that.
all
It's
tied
all
in.
one package.
It's all one
They're
package.
probably going to have to throw in the spear too, the MSG spear.
Yeah.
Great question, Brandon.
By the
man.
way, Comdex, what a great show it was. It's really the forerunner to a lot of the big electronic shows, big computer shows, so that type of thing. It really changed a lot of the formats that went on. But anyways, all right.
What do you got, Alex?
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Alex. Hey, Scott, you want to go to a Super Bowl party with me? I think he's asking you for a date, sir. He had to type it in there. He couldn't own it. I'm sorry. Bring Karen.
Yeah, if I can bring Karen, I'm in, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, you let me know where we're going to go, buddy, because it's going to be a tough hustle out there.
It is.
Don't let me call out my boys at Ellis Island right now.
I know. Oh, my God. They want a mint.
Choo.
Wow.
Damn.
Ellis Island. Wow, they've come up in the world, huh?
I love
the
that
front
place.
yard is. But you took us there. Food's fantastic.
It's my spot.
Unbelievable. Food was always good there, by the way.
Still is.
Yeah, no, it still is. Yeah, yeah, ready. All right, who we taking this weekend, Scott? NFL picks. Oh, what's your NFL picks?
Wow. Well, I'm a big Andy Reid guy. I hope Mahomes is playing.
Uh-huh.
I like Kansas City. Oh, gosh. I don't know about on the other side. It's really tough to go against Tom Brady.
I know. It's like destiny. This guy can't lose. You know what I mean?
He's amazing.
He's won everything. He's won the game of life, dude. If we were on the game of life and he was spinning that thing, I mean, he's literally just won. All of us are in the tycoon thing. We pulled off to the side and just given up. He's moved on to the big house at the end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, when it gets to this level, when you get to this part in the NFL season, in any season, the nothing beats being in experience. Yeah. And for him to be in, I think this is his 14th championship game.
He's
looking
clutch.
to go to his 10th Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't bet against the guy. I wouldn't do it.
Dude.
But I'm a really big, being from Philly and an Eagles fan, and I was really disappointed when Andy Reid left town, and he's the head coach of Kansas City.
Okay.
They won last year. That was really big. That solidified his spot as a Hall of Fame coach, but I think they're going to go back to back.
Wow.
Yeah. I like Tampa Bay and Kansas City in the Super Bowl, and I like Kansas City to win.
Wow. I'm going to stick with Brady, dude. I just it's amazing.
If young Mahomes is healthy, he's really tough.
Really?
He's awesome.
Poor Bill, man. He gave away Brady. I mean, oof.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Do you think Resorts World has potential to be in the top 10 casinos for dealers money-wise? 100%. I don't think they'll be top, but I think they'll be in the top 10 easily.
They'll be in the top 10.
Yep.
It's going to be tough in the first go. I mean, because they're going to have a lot of games open. When you open up a brand new resort, you go full spread a lot. Yep. There'll be a lot of dealer hours, but there'll be a lot of rock star players coming to town.
Yeah, a lot of big players.
And the other thing, too, like with them being the newest game on the Strip,
yep.
I mean, I'm just driving over here to meet you guys tonight, and the graphics on the side of the building, I'm just like, wow, this is so awesome.
It is quite
So what's
something.
the story? People come here for 3 to 4 days, right?
Yeah.
They're going to go there one.
Yeah, no.
They're going to get at least one visit there, even if you're not staying there.
Yeah.
I really believe it's going to be a great dealing job. I've got a lot of friends I'm hoping that can land that supervisor's job. I'm hearing that they're paying real money for the supers.
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
they don't have to do anything, but
that's true. I mean, they can offer what they want, but I think they're getting a lot of real talent signing up. Talent
they had
overwhelming
response. Overwhelming response.
No, a lot
they're
of talented
definitely
people.
going to get prime candidates for every spot.
Yeah, we're looking forward. I think they're going to open at a fantastic time. I think the timing couldn't be better.
I wish them all the luck in the world. I hope they do great. There's, Scott Sabella is running the show over there.
Yep.
Mr. Sabella, UNLV graduate, another UNLV graduate running the show.
Yeah,
so,
nice.
President, Chief Operating Officer,
Yep.
and he's got some really great help with Debbie Nutton and Gracie Olson helping him in the casino.
Walking
really
distance from fashion show.
Walking
Distance.
distance.
You can come stop at
You
Casino
could practice
Quest.
you could go to Casino Quest, work on your basic strategy,
Wynn.
and then stroll over.
I mean, literally, you don't even need an Uber.
You want to talk to those guys. They should have a little shuttle bringing them from the.
It's gonna be a thing.
All right.
We love it.
What do you got? What do you got?
Go ahead. Yep. What else? Okay. Freeform Aggie. What do David and Scott think about California legalizing sports betting sometime and possibly craps and roulette? So going to Class 3.
I would bet big money that in the very, very near future that sports betting will be there because that's just the trend of going across the country.
Yep.
It's safe. It's a safe move for the legislators because there's such a great prolific track record going on right now. You don't want to be left behind because now when you're having that conversation, why would you say no?
Yeah, no.
Why would you say no? Now, it's all depends. Is with your question, is it going to be in the tribal environment, or are they going to open up their own space? You know what I mean? Are they going to legalize it to let an MGM Bets come in, or let Caesars Entertainment and their new partner William Hill come in? Are they going to do it that way?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or are they just going to play nice with the tribes?
Yeah, good question. I think Class 3 is coming eventually. I have to hope. We would love for Class 3 to open up craps and roulette.
Yeah, why not? I mean, why wouldn't they do
mean,
it? Do they need it?
We think they do.
We think they do.
Yeah.
Okay, now, they're doing great. They're doing
Yeah.
great. But you can always expand your guest base. You know, a lot of folks like to play craps. A lot of folks like to play roulette.
Yep.
They don't like to flip cards and think that they're playing
Yeah,
craps.
the cards are depressing.
You got to fire the bones, man.
Yeah, no, you need dice. Come
You got
on
to shake
now.
them up.
Ridiculous.
All right, let's go.
All right, what else you got? All right, how long do you think it'll be before things get back to normal with conventions, which are a huge part of the gaming scene? Or do you think remote work will have a permanent negative effect?
Part one, about 18 months.
Really?
Yeah.
So long?
12 to 18 months to get back to conventions, right? I think the casino floors are going to expand sooner than that.
Guess what we
Folks
heard?
have to fly.
Folks have to fly.
Folks
I agree.
have to fly. If they don't fly, there won't be conventions. There won't be that safety, that when you have a convention, that means big crowds of people.
Uh-huh.
They're going to open up Allegiant Stadium. They're going to let the Raiders sell all their tickets. You know what I mean?
So we talked to a VP the other day, and he was a little late. And the reason he was late, he was on the phone with a couple. So businesses are already reaching out for September, as early as September, to start
love it.
holding conventions
do it.
on a smaller scale, like a more intimate scale.
I'm talking CES.
But CES is going to take a minute, right?
Come on.
But
You think CES is going to be back next January?
I don't think so, no.
That's
maybe.
that's the measuring stick. That's the bar.
That's
when
a big-
CES comes back to town, everybody's back.
But I do know that the companies are already looking. In fact, in some cases, the hotels are out of space already. They've already pre-booked a lot of their, and this is like September, October, which isn't bad. I mean, if you look at if you're optimistic at least what the new administration is going to do, and now people are going to really start pounding away at the vaccine, stuff like this. So we're very optimistic that at least come April and May, the city will start opening up a little more. More and more people will start coming in. The numbers will start going down. And I know that's being a little overzealous. I know that people are, some people out there are like July, August. But we're hoping that, everything just keeps moving forward. All the news that comes starts becoming better news. And but it's going to take a minute. We got to get
The head counts in Macau are going up steady every month.
Yep.
Our numbers are doing better every month, not year over year.
Right.
But
year over year it's down.
Crazy down.
But not as down as you would think. I mean, that's the thing. Like, especially with drive-up traffic, it's been quite extraordinary. That's why I think there's still a lot of
got
demand.
joints shut down.
We still have places shut down. 12% of the casinos in the country are still shut.
One of the premier gaming venues on the Strip is now a COVID testing place. Encore.
Encore, yeah.
Wynn Encore. Would you
Yeah.
like to go there today? No, because unless you're getting your COVID test.
Aren't they doing vaccines? They're doing vaccines.
They're doing vaccines.
Oh, I won't
That's
go
what
there
I'm
for the
saying.
vaccine, yeah. I mean, it's a tough gig. I do firmly believe 100% that when it does come back, it's going to come back big. And most people that
Dude,
are
there's
in a
nobody
position are
rooting
betting.
for it harder than me.
Yeah,
I
no,
mean, I want to
true.
be able to stand in front of my students and
Yep.
say everything's great.
Yep, I can't wait. We gotta schedule a 1-year anniversary from right today and see how it's evolved. I'd be very interested to have that conversation.
Write it down, dude. I'll be
Yeah,
there.
no, for sure. All right, what else you got?
5 questions.
5
Oh
questions
my
left.
goodness,
Sorry, Scott.
Mr. Morrow, Harrison here from UNLV.
my man Harrison, how you doing?
Can you please explain how large of an impact Hawaiian integrated resorts would have on Las Vegas, Asian, Hawaiian, and even mainland markets?
See, that's one of my students.
Wow, that's a good question.
great is that question?
Wow, that's like very...
Harrison, my
Pro-
man, I think it would definitely have an effect.
Really?
Well, here's one of if you had a great experience, right? You got an opportunity. First, it's new,
Yep.
right? And if they do it the right way, some of the pictures that you put up
Yep.
looks pretty cool.
Yep.
Now you're flying from
Yep.
Hong Kong. You're flying from mainland China.
Mm-hmm.
Would you want to fly 9 hours to Hawaii or 16 hours to Las Vegas. That's a tough
I mean,
hustle
you
right
can't
there.
jump off the top of the stratosphere in Hawaii, though. That's the thing. You know what I mean?
No, but you could go to Waikiki Beach.
And you don't get the whole foodie of it. So here's how I see it. I see how these new markets expand the base.
I get it.
Bring in new people.
I get
but
it.
ultimately, this is
Las
Candyland.
Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world. However, gaming capital,
Yeah.
we still need, Macau
Yeah.
7-8 times more.
Yeah.
All right? It's
Yep.
literally dollar for dollar.
Yep.
Now, and I believe that if our Hawaiian friends really got on board and really bought in to market to the international and the Asian gamer,
Yep.
and they can because they're right in their own backyard.
That's
Now, I know
it.
there's a great Japanese population right now that loves to play Baccarat, that lives in Oahu, that lives on the islands, and it's a short 7-hour ride from
That's quick.
from Korea and.
I mean, so those people that are real gamblers, that could be a new destination as opposed to coming to Vegas. But ultimately, if you're looking forward to bring your family, drop off your wife.
Plus, those Ninth Island folks, they'd be making fewer trips.
Yeah.
Because they
No,
would
that's
just
true.
they would just
You wouldn't have to
interact.
go to California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Vegas operators would definitely be
Take a hit.
concerned that
Yeah.
if Hawaii went.
They'd have to
But you
evolve a
could
little
bet
bit.
your boots that there'd be a big competition amongst Vegas operators to go down there.
And
And
get
I
that.
think that list would be headed by Boyd.
Oh, for sure. All right, great question though. Wow.
That's one of my great students.
With casino technology growing, do you expect table game traffic tracking to increase in accuracy? Oh, 100%. We have
Definitely.
this AI. We have this visual limits, NRT displays. They can already. So what you do is we input the layout, and so they track each spot independently, and you can even go back. They can even show when the dealer's made a mistake.
Dude, wait till you see what's going on at Resorts World.
Right? Oh, really?
Yeah, Resorts World, all RFID chips.
Wow.
They're really going for it. Great question, Brandon.
Yeah.
They're definitely amping it up. What we need to do is once Resorts World gets comfortable, if there's a couple of guys that I think are going to get these higher level jobs, if that works out for them, and I really hope it does, we'll bring them on and they can share some of that new technology.
It's
'Cause
amazing.
Resorts World's going to have the latest and greatest of technology in every
Right.
department.
In every department.
Yeah.
So with our stuff, you can track like hands per hour. It's all mapped
Sure.
out. It's pretty amazing. But I'm
Yeah, but
definitely
what's the
looking
key?
forward.
What's the key to victory? To get that accurate average bet.
Right.
Right now, average bet that's what separates table games from slots. Slots to the penny. We know to the penny
Right.
what your handle is,
Yeah.
what your pool is, what it is,
Yeah.
right? But in table games, it's still subjective because that elusive of average bet.
Right.
You know, is the player betting the same average bet when the supervisor's focused on them than when the supervisor's watching one of their 6 tables, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Right.
it's very subjective still.
Yeah.
But what the word on the street is the technology at Resorts World, RFID chips, and being able to read them to get a really solid average bet.
So the RFID basically is radio waves, and then it provides data feedback to, whomever or whatever.
Plus
is
the
there.
counterfeiting is.
And so you can track up and down. Every check basically can be tracked. They have them right now in some high limit checks, so they can,
Some of the demos I've seen is like you could update the rack in a second.
Yeah, in a second. Yeah, it's quite something. You can count. You can just go by a look, and you can see what total of the rack, like right there.
Great job, Brandon.
Yeah, good. All right, what else you got?
2 more questions.
2
we're
more
all done.
questions.
And,
Fantastic.
I just want to apologize, you guys. We're having some internet issues. It looks like a little bit. The bandwidth's like up and down. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's a little
Yeah.
bit buffering.
Today our internet is just sucked.
Yeah.
It's a Cox issue. All right, Improdigal, a.k.a. Martingale, Lover, Godfather. Oh, yeah, he's come out here.
This is all you, man.
All right, how often did the pit actually have someone win so much they ended a weekend upside down, or do they always win? And is more about how much they win each night. Okay, what's the question? How often did the pit actually have someone win so much they ended a weekend upside down? That happens, by the way. There are a lot of people that walk in. The legendary Kerry Packer, he'd beat a casino and they'd be down for the month. I mean, he would walk away with so much money. And then they had to fuel his plane on top of that because he had a whole deal. I mean, they had to gas him up. It's the whole thing. Work with
That's
your family.
awesome.
Good luck refolding that one. But there you go. So those are coming soon.